for Van Ruin. Back to Oliver for a goal.
Here is Walters, picks it up and kicks. Oh, what a goal from Sonny Walters.
Through 6PR in Perth, 5AA in Adelaide, and across Australia through the 3AW app. Welcome to 3AW Football's coverage of this round 11 clash between Naarm and Waldyup from the MCG. Bringing you this afternoon's action. In special comments, Australian Football Hall of Fame legend Lee Matthews and the 2007 Brownlow medalist Jimmy Bartell. On the boundary, it's Jackie Reid. And in commentary, it's a very good afternoon for Tim Lane and Tony Leonard.
Thank you, Craig Willis. You'll hear from all the aforementioned in just a moment, but it's the second weekend of Indigenous Round in 2023. A smoking ceremony is occurring down on the ground. The teams and the umpires are lined up. Let's go down and join the public address.
Country.
And in fact, the ceremony has just been completed, unfortunately. We do apologise for those of you who might have been standing by for that. The two teams now break up and head to either end of the ground to go through their final paces before this very big game. The Dockers ended Melbourne's 17-game winning streak in round 11 here this time last year, and the Demons are 13 wins and 11 losses since then, so something changed that day. Their only win over a current top 8 team this year was in round 1 against the Western Bulldogs. Head to head, they're 2-2 in the last 3 seasons, having traded wins in 2022, and at the MCG they're 1-1 in the last 2 seasons. But the Dockers have won 4 out of 6 here against Melbourne since 2013. Let's get to Jackie Reid for a conditions report and final team selections, and it comes to you thanks to Greyhound Racing Victoria. Welcome again, good buddy.
Thanks very much, good buddy. The lights are on. It's cloudy with a top of 15 degrees, and right now we're bang on that. No breeze to worry about. Perfect conditions down here. The crowd, well, it's quite busy in the members as expected. It is building. Hopefully a few more come through the gates soon. There are no late changes for either side. For Naarm, in comes James Harms and Tom Sparrow. Clayton Oliver and Lockie Hunter come out of the side. The tactical sub is James Jordan. And for Waldyup, there are no changes, just Michael Walters comes out. Sam Sturt is the only inclusion into the team as the tactical sub. He is the sub, number 1, Sam Sturt. Thank you for that, Jackie. Let's get to Lee Matthews and Jimmy Bartell on what they are anticipating here. Melbourne, of course, without Clayton Oliver, and that drives a stake into their midfield lead.
Yeah, big out. He's one of their weapons, no doubt about that. Well, Fremantle just found a bit of form just the last 3 weeks. All of a sudden, they've looked quite good. They're getting good service now out of Darcy and Jackson. Their big forwards, Amos and Tracy, have looked dangerous. Nate Fight's back in the team. So all of a sudden, they're a different team than they were. Remember, we saw them early in the year, and was it North Melbourne beat them? I'm not sure, but anyway, they started the year badly. Melbourne, you always know Melbourne are good on their good days, and even without Clayton Oliver, if they play to their level, I still think Melbourne will win. But every now and again, you know, their defence doesn't mark the ball, and when it comes to ground in their defence, then sometimes they can be vulnerable.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think their ball movement's back a bit, Freo, and I look towards their smaller mid-types, those forwards. We highlighted Lockie Schultz to the coach, and he's always impressed with him. Switowski, Banfield, even O'Driscoll, who comes into the side. They've got run. They bring the ball almost in a wave to half-back, and they've got a huge work rate as a side, and that's why they've been able to hit the scoreboard. Now, it's important for them not to blaze away, because they were the side that showed sort of probably the template to beat Melbourne last year, and that's moving the ball off the line. Just don't kick it long and dump it inside forward 50, because May and Lever will have a field day, and I think that's why I think Melbourne will just be a bit too good even without Oliver and Hunter out there. I just think they're a bit more hard and they've got a few more options, and when the game turns into a slow grind, I think Melbourne are better in that, I guess, mode of footy.
Thank you very much, Jimmy. We are around 3 minutes away from the start of the clash between Naarm and Waldyup, Melbourne and Fremantle. The Indigenous names of both towns being used this afternoon. Jackie Reid has set us all up beautifully with Greyhound Racing Victoria. Premier Racing Thursday night, Sandown Park. Saturday night at the Meadows. And is a bit of breeze about. Ground in great condition, which leaves the final thing to do before the bounce. It's time for the bold prediction. Only a few minutes to go. Shop for your footy snacks at your local Foodworks and save their final predictions. Who's going to win and why? And a prediction, please, Lee Matthews.
Well, I'm going to go for Melbourne, but I'm going to actually, my bold predictions in about the 4 big guys, Gawn, Grundy, Jackson and Darcy. Jackson's the ground level one ball getter of that group, so I'm going to go that he will be the best of the 4, and that will be determined on the votes, which I actually give probably today.
Good fight.
Yeah, it's nice.
But I won't be biased when I'm doing my votes, Jimmy.
Never.
Definitely not, no.
I'm going to go for a bit of the forgotten man, I guess, for Melbourne. We talk a lot about their players, but this man, I think, was important in them winning a premiership a couple of years back in Tom McDonald. I think Melbourne will win, and Tom McDonald will kick 4 goals for the D's. Go D's!
Thank you very much for Foodworks.
Contrary position, Tone. I reckon Oliver's absence diminishes their tandem of Oliver and Petrarca by more than 50%. He's so crucial a player. It's not to say he's better than Petrarca, and Petrarca is devastatingly good, but I reckon that might open the door to a Fremantle win.
My bold prediction is twofold, Tim, that Melbourne will win the toss and kick to the city end, and the second one is that this may well be an absolute blowout Melbourne's way.
Wow.
I reckon they'll be smarting from...
What's a blowout in your books? What's the benchmark? What's the hurdle?
I think upwards of 6 goals.
That's a blowout.
30 plus.
Yeah, well, it gets most worthy opposition. I don't know why I've come here today. I know why I've come here today. I don't know why I've come here today with an overwhelming feeling that Melbourne is just going to be totally and utterly ready to go.
So, they don't have good 2 bad games in a row, Tone. That might be it.
I've probably got a little bit of
I think that might be it.
So, Tone, 30 points. Okay, 31 points, blowout.
Against worthy opposition like this, yeah, my word.
That's all right.
Like if they were... You've got to remember one thing about the Dockers.
Yep.
They're highly regarded.
Good point. Highly regarded. Yeah, forgot that.
So, Lee, final words before Tim from you.
Well, they're going... Nate Fife is starting... He's in the centre square. I think he's in the centre square, which is good to see. I mean, it looked like he's been a great player whose injury is going to just completely cruel his career. So what he's got left in this last phase, I guess we're all hoping it'll be a good contribution to come.
So to the city end, Melbourne will kick to the punt road end. Crowd not large, but certainly making their fair share of noise.
Special acknowledgement of umpire Matthew Nichols, officiating for the 400th time. Best bouncer in the game, but he's not taking the opening centre bounce. That will be executed by Chris Donlan, who gets the match going perfectly. Gawn and Darcy. This is going to be a tremendous ruck contest. Brayshaw roves it for Freo. Put a hand pass out in front of Schultz. There's going to be a free kick, and it'll go Melbourne's way, and Neil Bullen will be the recipient and put Melbourne into attack. Just not quite able to be accepted cleanly by the Melbourne front half. Salem's got it, gives to Melbourne's Brayshaw. Quick kick went nowhere. It's picked up by Sarong, scrambles a kick, went straight to Matho, who's up on the southern wing, pushes wide where former Docker Langdon got a bad bounce, and he now has 3 against him. There will be a tangle and a ball up just inside the boundary line, 60 metres from Melbourne's goal at the city end on the left half forward flank.
So a minute gone first quarter. Shelby Power scoreboard, nothing to show yet. Melbourne get the stoppage and now get the ball to be tossed in. Half forward left, Jimmy.
It's out on the full because the ruckman touched over on the full. Now they're going to try and work out which ruckman actually won the hit out.
And it's a standoff. They're going to throw it in.
Call to draw,
exactly.
throw it in.
So ball to be tossed in, Jim. 65 around southern side. City and Demons into attack.
Yeah, both ruckmen having a bit of a giggle out of it. I think Sean Darcy might be laughing because he's the one who got away with the misdemeanour.
So Sean Darcy gave away a decent push in the back play on the call as they try to run the ball through the middle. Sarong has it. Ball on the deck. And just trying to get the ball moving was Aish. We get another stoppage. Scrappy start after a minute and a half. Nothing to show for Shell v Power either team. Ball on almost the wing as Petrarca tries to get a kick away, unable to do so. Viney in there as hard as he always is, Lee, and we get another stoppage.
Yeah, nothing much moving yet. Pretty congested around the centre of the ground.
So 2 minutes are gone, still nothing to show. No clean play. I reckon there's high contact free kick. Dockers to be, or the recipient, as Salem gave it away. So, Tim, on the southern side, Winswitkowski has it. They're going to the punt road end, the Dockers. It is Nam and Walpy up, neither side having scored, as Switkowski sends the Dockers forward.
Lights on at the G, not really needed at the moment. Lead from Jackson, beautiful pass, he takes the mark, and some early boos from the Melbourne faithful for a man who helped them win the 2021 Premiership. He kicks to the 50 where Melbourne have it well covered. Off the pack, Rivers takes it, gave to Salem. A hand pass to Langdon. They work it around, back through Salem. His is smothered by Jackson, and the former basketballer collects with great agility, but his left foot kick is picked off by Lever, who takes the mark between the fullback and the halfback lines in the corridor for the Demons down at the punt road end.
So Lever has the ball. Again, looks to the southern side, halfback, almost the wing there. A lot of pushing there. And unable to move, and there's a great mark at halfback, the Demons. Petrarca was not pushed off the mark, goes round the body, follows the boundary line to half forward at the city end. All good knock that time. Pickett frees up, the ball goes again. Carries again, third effort against the boundary line. Tries a runner! Oh! Yes! It got there! I don't know whether anyone has seen the goal of the year so far this year, but I reckon we just might have seen the goal of the year once and for all, Lee. What a magnificent bit of work then from Keziah Pickett.
And we'll just explain again, Tone, because for me, I mean, he's kicked the ball for about 40 metres out next to the boundary. He's grubbed it, but it was going to be intercepted. Then it took a big bounce on the fifth bounce over the head of the Fremantle player on the goal line. That's amazing.
Isn't it amazing how Indigenous round lifts the Indigenous players to some extraordinary feats? We saw them last week here. Ash Johnson took the mark of the day, the goal of the day. Forgotten who kicked it, but same sort of thing. I mean, we're seeing amazing exploits in this round of matches over 2 weekends. Darcy climbs high, gets it down to 5. He got a hand pass to Sarong, who swings it forward for Fremantle, but Rivers is in the way. He spins and he aims southern side, where Neil Bullen will have 2 against him. Clark got hold of him, brought him down. H is going to try and mop up the ball, but Langdon arrived. Socketed Melbourne's way. Attacked by Henry for Fremantle. He's gang tackled. And a ball up is forced out on the southern wing. Melbourne to goal, Fremantle yet to score.
What a goal, Jim. What an extraordinary goal.
The build-up was just as good, how he got in that spot.
He did very well. Aish, defensive wing, tumbles one toward half forward. May, back there, the handball. Tracy can't pick it up. They're losing ground. McPhee does well. Got it to Rivers of Melbourne. Lever almost allows himself to be gang tackled that time. Stoppage takes place, Lee did in front of the Dockers goal, punt road end 30 out.
Good pressure, and that was led, the pressure, ground level pressure led by Luke Jackson, and best man on the ground at the moment, I've got to say.
Shelby Power scoreboard. Nam goal, the only score of the game. As Big Sean Darcy, and Tim, as big blokes go, he is big with a capital B.
Gone a little taller, Darcy much bulkier. Melbourne's footy, and swung clear for the Demons by McPhee out over half back, but not for long as the Dockers have managed the intercept mark. Ryan's got it just forward of the centre line, and he's going to go longish into the 50. It'll land about 30 metres from goal. Tracy went to spoil for Fremantle. Spilling ball picked up by Fife, he lost it. Salem steals, gave to Langdon, to Petrarca. Swinging kick out over half back, and McDonald arrives to take a good mark for the D's.
Yeah, man free in the middle of the ground is Chandler for the Demons. Good defensive effort though. The Dockers have got some numbers. Young's there. O'Driscoll was there as well. Pushing the back, should have gone the Dockers' way. High contact on 5, play on the call. They're running it beautifully. The handball that time from Sarong didn't actually get the hand part of it. And a little high clearance from Melbourne, wins 20 or so metres. Chandler goes again, releases quickly. Angus Brayshaw does nicely along the members' wing, 35-40 metres. Excellent work that time from Angus Brayshaw of the Demons, who are 1 goal. Dockers yet to score. Jimmy, 7 minutes gone, first quarter. Fuel that footy feeling with Shelby Power.
Yeah, Sarong had the short handball in the last second. He wanted to go the longer one and just missed altogether.
Darcy and Gawn again. Gawn stole front position, controlled things. Socket Fremantle's way by Johnson, but stolen by Bowie, who kicks back over the wing for Melbourne, but Young intercept mark. Meister takes a mark for Fremantle. Members' side of the ground. He is in no hurry. gives it due consideration. Then Spargo comes at him, forces a high kick, which clears the wing. Gawn takes a very good mark. Maybe not paid by the umpire, it didn't matter. Got it onto Harms. He got it to Neil Bullen. Down to Petrarca. Storming 40, bladed away from a long way out. And put it out on the full, missed by 10 metres. Free kick to the Dockers' last line of defence.
He saw the lights of New York.
Oh, Tone.
And ended up
in New Jersey.
That's it. And for Petrarca, that is an error, which is a rarity, as Pearce, back pocket, to Gawn on the wing. Just eases Tracy out of the way, takes it forward of the wing. 6-0 the Demons' way. 8 minutes gone, first quarter action, all thanks to Maccas. Gawn centres the ball to within 20 metres. Van Rooyen couldn't quite get there. Pickett for number 2 around the body. And it's fair to say he's missed everything from 20 metres lead. Back pocket free kick, Clark to take it for the Dockers.
Fair bit easier than his actual goal that he actually kicked. Just goes to show sometimes it just doesn't cross the body from 20 metres out, but out of bounds on the full.
Well, Young's taken mark. Jimmy, before Tim, take us around the grounds very quickly.
Yeah, quarter time. St Kilda 3-2-20 to Hawthorn 2 goals 4-16.
Clearing, ball out over the 50. Lever just threw it out the back door, but they don't pay those very often. Picked up now by Angus Brayshaw, got a hand pass to Bowie. Kick bouncing towards the 50. Young is in the way. Tackled, had to get it off, did so to Cox. Hand pass forward, Johnson goes back into the defensive 50 for Fremantle. Kicking to Hughes, who's just come off the interchange bench. He kicks around the southern wing for Switkowski. Just behind the wing on the southern side. Kicks up the line. Banfield came over the top of Salem. Took a fine mark just into Freo's front half. Pokes a little pass. Sarong dropped the mark he needed to take. Picked up for the Demons by Rivers. He got it to Harms, to Spargo, back to Harms. Shook off a tackle. Gives to Brayshaw of Melbourne. Hand pass in front of Gawn. Man comes at him. So he hand passes back over his head. Straight to Harms. Quick kick is good. And Van Rooyen takes the mark on the wing.
As he can go short. Makes Petrarca really reach for it. He marked though. Gave to Bowie. Passes on into the forward pocket. Excellent work, Bailey Fridge. Has the ball as Jackie. I head down to you for DP.
Yeah, just one for Walyulup. It looks like Luke Ryan is labouring a little bit. He's had a lot of work done on his hamstrings pre-game. He's come off the ground, had a chat to the doctor, but he's getting ready to come back on, so just keep an eye on him.
Yeah, we'll do. All the injury report thanks to DP. Thank you, Jim. Feel it work. 45, 50 metres out, Fritsch to the city ends. Giving it a decent ride. Will it hold its line? No, but didn't quite make it. About a metre short, and Cox in defence takes it for the Dockers. Tim, 11 minutes gone. It seems like there should be a bit more than just one goal scored so far, as Cox went short. And the boy from the college, as Bobby Davis would say, young Sarong.
He's from the grammar.
He's from the grammar. He takes it in the back pocket for the Dockers. And then kicks Tim to half-back southern side, where a pack of players fly.
Fair dinkum unbelievable.
That's
taken
it.
off the pack and trickler up to the wing, sets Fremantle in motion. Banfield to Switkowski, was tackled, stopped in his tracks. Umpire Nichols calls play on. Mightn't hurt the Demons though, as they keep the ball alive near the boundary line. Petrarca, Spargo and Grundy knocking the ball on. Intercepted by Banfield. He's dispatched, didn't have the ball. And with Melbourne breaking away and heading goalward, raising the hope of their fans, umpire Nichols is their villain, because he calls for it to come not just up the ground, but 50 metres up the ground.
Oh, Fiddy. That's Fiddy with a capital F.
And 3 Ds.
There are a few capital Fs being expressed down below us in seats occupied by men and women who don't normally use that language, as the Dockers work it into midfield. Walker marks, runs through the circle, drives into the 50. Gee, their entries are poor though, and Rivers cuts this off and takes the mark. Shallow at centre half back for Melbourne.
Again to the southern side. One-on-one contest there. Great effort that time. O'Driscoll allows Young on the wing to pick it up. Give to Matt Johnson of the Dockers. Goes wide. Man on the lead that time is Amos. Keeps it alive, squares it up. I like the kick.
Well played.
Worked it really well, didn't they, Lee? Banfield's got the ball 40 out at the punt road end, slight angle for the Dockers.
As they always do, Melbourne, just get back and really flood that back 50, so there's not a whole lot of space, and they want you to kick it long and high, but on that occasion at least, the precision kicking to maintain possession has set them up this shot at goal.
So for all the seeming advantage that Melbourne's had in the first 12 minutes, a goal here squares everything. They've only got a goal to show. And most kickable it is for Banfield. It's on its way. It's got the distance. Yes, it did. Goal each. Well done that time then. Bailey Banfield has a goal. Dockers first. Demons have one. Nam a goal. Walyalup a goal. And it is 13 gone. First quarter. All thanks to Shell V Power. Jackie, I'll head down to you, please. An update, please, on for the Dockers, please.
It was Luke Ryan.
I get Luke and Liam, and I knew it wasn't the one I was going to say.
That's okay. No, he's just gone back out onto the ground. I still will keep an eye on him. He was doing some pretty intensive hamstring stretches pre-game with the trainer. Has had that chat to the doctor and had come off quite early in the game for him. So keep an eye on him.
Well, thanks to DP, fast, target, effective pain relief. It is the iconic brand you can know and trust. Feel at work, Jimmy?
DP. No, it's important. Banfield, or if it's Fife resting forward, or wherever that mid-sized forward that Stephen May tries to go to, you've still got to keep hitting up, and Freo's got to use that lead as well.
Jackson in ruck. He rucked. He roved. He got a hand pass to Johnson. Spearing ball into the 50. Oh, Amos went very ambitiously.
No, he got a free.
He'll get a free for being tunnelled.
Yeah, he got pushed
shoved in the back.
He did get shoved into it as he was about to take that launch.
Ooh. And he'll go back and line them up from 30 metres out directly in front. And from what he showed us with a short pass from the boundary onto a teammate's sternum about 90 seconds ago, you'd back him in. He is a good kick of the footy.
Yeah, hand in the back and just a little bit of the shove. Like half the time they're not going to get paid in modern footy, but the umpire decided to ping that one.
He comes in he's getting very close to the man on the mark. Kicks it high as a result, but high and straight. And the Dockers have strung two together and they lead. Walyalup 2 goals. Nam 1 goal. We've had 14 minutes at the MCG on 3AW football. Jimmy, what's happening around the ground?
Around the grounds, Hawthorn's hit the front, 3 goals, 5-23 to St Kilda 3-2-20 as they're just underway in the second quarter. But it was as Amos was about to launch, Hibbert just wanted to work him into the contest in front, which had Stephen May and I think it was Trakey as well. But he just went
It's funny, the fans have seen the replay and they don't like it because they're not used to pushing backs being played. It was one hand in his back, just a gentle push admittedly, but it should be a free kick. A good standard game this, I reckon. They're both sides are playing really quick, good quality footy.
15 into the first quarter, the Dockers by 6 points, 12-6. Play restarts middle of the ground. Grundy is in there, Sparrow as well. High kick for the Demon toward half forward. Now there's a hold going on, and I would have thought it's a Melbourne free kick. It is.
Oh, hard done by.
Pickett's got it. Oh, that's bad marking.
That's terrible.
Oh, not the right distance. Harms takes the mark. Not paid, has to handball it away. O'Meara picks it up for the Dockers. Goes wide to a made contest on the wing with Tracy. The former takes it, and the Demons are now back into attack. Van Rooyen. Oh, what a great grab for Melbourne as Grundy. Clean and high. Spectacular is the word I'm looking for, I think, Jim. What a good grab it was. 40 metres out slide angle at the city end.
Yep, he took Luke Jackson forward and got a clean run at it as Jackson tried to jump around the side of the contest. But yeah, clean grab. Landed on his scon, but a nice grab from Brody Grundy.
He's got the man bun to protect and break the fall.
Yes. He's landed face first.
So, with the man bun is totally useless to him in a situation like that. Grundy to level the scores. City end. 16 gone first quarter. 45 metres out. Gets a really decent look. 45-degree angle. Ball on its way. It's high and it's horribly wide. Sneaks in. One behind. 117. Nam Walyalup is 2 goals. Dockers by 5 points. As Jimmy said, it was Hawthorn, second quarter action from up the river, leading by 5 points. And this time Ryan, long on the kick in, but once again, Grundy to the fore then, Tim, takes the grab for the Demons.
Yes, Jackson was just being shielded away from Grundy. Looking slim, Grundy. I reckon slimmer than he has done in previous incarnations. Out of the 50, though, Brayshaw for Fremantle clears straight to the aforementioned Jackson, who takes the mark between half-back and centre lines. just favouring the members' side of the ground. He kicks across the wing to Fife. Got 1-2 grabs, couldn't hang on to the mark. Shot out a hand pass though, and Amos gets a little left-footed runner to the 50. In the way is Sparrow, who swings it back to the wing for Melbourne. Young up, couldn't take the mark, but he's got the footy now. He kicks in towards half-forward. Schultz, desperate attempt to mark, couldn't quite do so. Clever Johnson, socketed on. Banfield's got it, had to run out of the 50. Gives to Switkowski. Didn't know Neil Bullen was coming from behind. And pays the price in the form of a holding the ball free kick. Neil Bullen to take it at half-back for Nam, who trail by 5 points, 17 and a half minutes in.
Grundy's got away from his man 30 up the ground. Takes the mark. You're right, Tim. He does look thinner, and it's a beautifully weighted puck. Petrarca to kick the suitcase out of it. He does. Top of the square, Van Rooyen now from the side. Good knock away from Clark. Jim Bull out of bounds, forward pocket right, City in, Melbourne into attack about 20 around from their goal.
I'm with Lee, it's an exciting game at the moment. Both teams are defensive pressures, just putting enough on as that last kick coming inside forward 50.
Gawn and Jackson here, premiership teammates. Melbourne's ruck tandem in that great year for the club. Gawn brings it down beautifully to Viney. Hand pass though was stolen for the Dockers by Hughes. His little hand pass didn't find a target, and there'll be a ball up 30 out in front of Melbourne's goal. Matthew Nichols, game 400, stalwart among umpires. Gets it's brought down to Brayshaw for Fremantle. He gives a hand pass to Sarong, who gives it off to O'Driscoll. Now to Hughes, pressured as he kicks, which slews right and goes out on the full. Free kick to Melbourne between wing and half forward over on the southern side. Two straight, plays 1-1. Freo by 5 points.
And not normally, Jimmy, I would have thought a full-back has the most touches that are in play rather than kicking to himself, but Stephen May's had a tremendous start to the game.
He has,
He kicks the ball to full forward. From the back, the ball knocked away. Langdon eluded by the bounce, or the bounce eludes him as Chandler picks it up. Has to release. Hart going into it was Witkowski. Tries to get the ball to O'Driscoll. This all in Melbourne's attacking 50, where we get a stoppage.
Christian Petrarca leading the way, though, on 6 touches with Nat 5-6 for Freo.
Dockers by 5 points. Melbourne have it inside attacking 50. Another ball up. How many for May?
He has had the 3. Sorry, it was Wally up. Well up. Sorry, before, not Freo.
Yep. Ball tossed up. Flicked out the back. Clark has it. Tried to handball over Petrarca, who was awake to it. He batted the ball forward, Petrarca. Now it's underneath the big scoreboard. And it's Tim 35-40 around from Nam's goal at the City end. Warrigal up by 5 points, 12-7. Mini chance here now for the Demons.
Grundy and Jackson. Jackson a little backhander. Andrew Brayshaw for Freo taken down. And now there'll be a ball up. And it is 40 metres from Melbourne's goal. On an angle of approximately 45 degrees, I would have thought, Tone, to the sticks.
So.
Grundy and Jackson. Jackson reaches over him, then roves, but Melbourne are coming out of it with a free kick. Harms will take it, and he can line them up from a very goal-kickable position for the Demons.
Yeah, just against Sarong there. He thought Harms had the footy, but he didn't take it cleanly, but Sarong continued with the tackle.
The old...
Oh, geez, very, very, very
the old
fortunate.
con.
Very, very fortunate.
Pretend you're going to take it and don't. Harms lines them up. Man on the mark. Just a step more than 40 metres from goal. He'll kick it from inside 50, but not by much. On its way, and it looks pretty good. It is pretty good. And the goal umpire's not absolutely sure. Maybe he feels there could have been a feather on the inside of the woodwork. So we're going to have a review.
Score review. Umpire's call is a behind. We're checking if the ball touched the post.
Okay, so he thinks it did touch, and the edge will come into play, one would imagine. The shot we're seeing at the moment is very wide, and it's impossible to make a judgment on that.
Review complete. Yes. Looking at these angles, we can see there is a spike on edge as the ball passes the post. Decision on the scoreboard.
These goal umpires, Tone, they are good. They are pros.
They are, and you become more of an expert when you've got the edge helping you. So the Demons, well, They're disappointed that they thought it was a goal, as most of us did, but there was an edge there. But moreover, Jim, that's a bad miss from Harms.
Yep, 40 or 35 metres out. Pretty routine shot.
As Young kicks the ball in, Gawn takes basically a one-hander. Now he can just kick around his body. Slow play to Angus Brayshaw, forward of the wing member's side. So Melbourne can go deep and forward. Van Rooyen in front, at the back. Grundy flies high, staying down Hughes. He's tackled, so Melbourne lead, winner stoppage. Shelby Power scoreboard. Dockers by 4 points. Melbourne have got it 30 metres out.
And he looks pretty motivated, Grundy, I reckon. The fact that he's in the Melbourne Guernsey and the guy who left is in the opposition's.
And Gawn likewise having the better of Darcy. Darcy here is involved. Got it to Brayshaw, got it to Cox, got it to Young, who swings a standing starter out over the 50. Mayer's in the way but can't take the mark this time. Taken by Rivers for Melbourne. Lost it and is penalised. And the members have a view on that, and it's not entirely favourable.
They are in absolute disagreement with that decision, Tim.
Yeah, absolute disagreement, Tone. Amos will take it between half-back and centre lines for the visitors, the Dockers, who are giving a good account of themselves early. Kick into half-forward, all Melbourne there, although Fife edged lever under it. Got it to Switkowski, gives to Banfield. Little left footer, a bit fancy, was smothered, and Melbourne get the footy back and come out of defence. McVie works it over the top to Angus Brayshaw, gave to Sparrow, well met by Brayshaw Jr., who takes him over the boundary line with the footy and is confronted by Brayshaw Sr., looking angry under his helmet. There'll be a throw in between wing and half forward for the Dockers.
4 minutes to go till quarter time. Shelby Power scoreboard, good game. Dockers by 4 points. Plenty of action, low scoring. Ball on the wing, Northern or members side. Gawn knocks it down. Jackson, he'll be booed. But good mobility on the deck. Gave it to Young, gave it to Aish, back to Young. The left footer into the corridor, the ball goes. Frederick looms there for the Dockers. Kept it in front of him. He's brought to the ground. So in the finish, Lee, that's pretty good play from Michael Frederick just to win the stoppage. Not quite at centre half forward.
I've got to show you, Darcy's going to have to get himself going. Gawn's going all right. Grundy's really going well, and Jackson's just about best on ground still.
Soft start. Switkowski.
He's in 3 vote form, though.
Along the deck. Ball's gone out of bounds as Sarong. Oh. I think a little bit of push and shove. Oh, hello. It's, well, I'd call it heated at best. And they're still going on it as play continues on. Angus Brayshaw won the stoppage. Kicks it 55, 60 metres towards McDonald as the ball goes out of bounds. Down to you on the boundary line, Jackie Reid.
Yeah, it's been pretty intense on the Melbourne bench. Tom McDonald's just returned to the field, but he had a pretty tense discussion with Simon Goodwin before running back out there.
And you've got an assistant down there today, Jack.
I certainly do. Matty Prasparkas, Bombers champion for the AFLW, is on the sidelines today too.
Fantastic. Good to have you with us, Matty. Throw in. Gawn really handling everything Darcy can throw at him, but no sooner said than Darcy gets a perfect tap to Jackson as the two Docker big men are at the one contest. They break away here. Hand pass in front of Fife. He's got it. He ran into trouble. Had to give it off to O'Meara, whose kick was smothered, and Melbourne might escape, although it's not done yet. Now it may be. Hibbard gives to Angus Brayshaw. Hurried kick to the centre of the ground where the big men collide. Darcy beats Gawn again. Gives to Jackson. The 3 vote form continues. He kicks to Aish. Takes a mark. Goes coolly into the heart of the corridor and Clark. They're back in the centre now, though. And across ground further to Ryan. Fremantle to reset. Short ball. Johnson marks it, still not far forward of the line across the centre, and he goes back whence it came to Ryan, who, with no one on the mark, runs forward, kicks long. Darcy there, big height advantage. Lever just managed to rattle it away. Picked up by May, smothered. Salem has a go. He didn't get a result either. It's in dispute. There'll be a free kick Melbourne's way, and it'll be taken by Charlie Spargo down in the back pocket with all hands on deck for the Demons in defence.
Spargo brings it up. Near enough up the middle of the ground. Van Roy and Fluke couldn't keep the mark. Fremantle at ground level win it. As Clark to Cox to Jackson. Takes his time, wheels around. High and slow. Caught at the back that time was Hughes. Clever stuff, Langdon. Knew he was out of position, but at least Jim was able to get a fist on it and knock it out of bounds.
Yeah, did really well. Hughes was in the van, as you'd say, Tone.
You would.
I've mentioned Lou Jackson a few times. He's playing genuine on-ball, but he's the biggest centre square on-ball and ground-level player ever.
Ball's tossed in on the wing. Gorm, the tap, front of the pack. Langdon releases. Viney goes hard, pushes it forward, tries to get to Sparrow. Well done, Viney. Emerged from the pack. 2 bounces, can go long. McDonald at the back, Van Rooyen's there. Staying down Fridge. Well done, the Dockers hold firm yet again defensively. Cox takes it, don't like the kick coming out of defence. Melbourne take the grab at half forward, 65 out.
And Sparrow drives it into the 50 and McDonald takes a very good mark. 20 out directly in front for the Demons.
Good quick rebound. When it came back, the Fremantle defence couldn't quite get set in the right position. It's a bit of just a jostle under the ball, and McDonald marked it.
Should goal here to restore the lead for Nam. Man on the mark, right on 20. McDonald comes in and rams it home. The Demons are 2-2-14. The Dockers are 2 straight goals. A very competitive opening quarter at the MCG. It's the Shell v Power scoreboard.
Yeah, let's go around the grounds as Hawthorn doing better than all right, lead by 13 points. It is 4-10-34 over St Kilda 3-3-21 with around 7 minutes, Jimmy, to half-time at that game. Here, we've got 40 seconds left. Nam have a 2-point lead over Walyalup.
Yeah, Freo, probably the last 5 minutes, dominated field position. They were able to set up the wall, but just Melbourne managed to break that bubble and get it inside forward 50. And as Lee said, it wasn't the initial entry, but that repeat entry is where you often score from because the defence is scrambling.
So, Demons, late in the quarter, take a 2-point margin. Petrarca can run onto it, got a little kick going forward. Danger loom again. Walker lost it. Picked up by Spargo. Left foot shot around the body. Van Rooyen goes hard. Better from Cox. He was outnumbered. They've still got their Fridge. A little grubber. Now I reckon it's got there. No, it's got there. A little grubber that time then from Fridge. 2 goals in the space of 30 seconds to the Demons. And on the Shell v Power score, but matter of moments before we reach half time. 8-point margin to Nam, 3-2-20. Walyalup 2 straight, 12. Fridge has his lead 21st goal of the season.
Well, it was Spargo's ability to step the tackle, which drew up Ryan. So Melbourne created an extra in front of the ball when Van Rooyen actually went for that mark and brought it back in. So they actually had an out number in their goal square there, Melbourne, 3-2.
Spectacular finish, not as spectacular as Pickett's was obviously early in the quarter, but just that ability, just the modern play, almost the average modern player, the ability to know how to get the ball bouncing through, and Fritz did it easily.
Is there time for another goal? We're into the last 20 seconds from the ball up. Fremantle are forced the wrong way. There, Brayshaw has it. Go by Mira. Ran into a stiff tackle. Got rid of the ball. It's collected by Switkowski, but he's going nowhere. Caught in the tackle. Taken down, ball up. Fremantle side of the centre, and I think time has them both beaten now. Tossed up. Darcy just getting into the game now. And he's still got 3 quarters to exert some influence, but it is quarter time at the MCG. And as we've said, a very competitive and at times thrilling opening quarter. Nam 3-2-20, that's the Demons, and Walyalup, the Dockers, are 2 straight goals. It's the home team by 8 points.
Yep, first quarter brought to you by Shell v Power. Fuel that footy feeling with Shell v Power. So the Demons by 8 points at quarter time. All singles to the Demons, and singles, Amos and Banfield are the others there. Excellent first quarter. Lee and Jimmy will tell you all about it. Up the river, it is Hawthorn by 13 points as we approach half-time there, right across Australia. Thanks to Mac as you're listening to 3AW Football.
5AA Breakfast.
Scientists have used AI to discover a new antibiotic that can kill a deadly species of superbug. There's about 3 of them that the World Health Organisation are really concerned about.
Informing Adelaide.
And the AI then ran a test of 6,680 compounds. They found 9 potential antibiotics. That process took an hour and a half.
What if the AI has an off day, though, and decides that just for a laugh it's going to make a new bacteria?
6 a.m. weekdays on 5AA.
You know what's become a huge deal at Mawson Lakes Mazda? Our end of financial year deals. Want to know a secret? We can give you amazing prices right now. Yep, Mawson Lakes Mazda is clearing new and demo stock at prices you'll normally get in June. And they're available for immediate delivery. Don't wait. Get in before the end of financial year rush. Mawson Lakes Mazda, just a short drive from the city.
You've unpacked your winter wardrobe and dusted off the doona, but have you thought about rugging up your windows? Windows are responsible for up to 44% of heat loss in a room. Rundle Blinds can help you rug up your windows with great specials on custom-made curtains and energy-efficient duet shades. Right now, you can get 15% off all Luxaflex curtains and get prepared for winter. Visit the Rundle Blinds showroom on Goodwood Road or go to rundleblinds.com.au.
We've all got our favourites in life, and there's nothing better than a trip up the hill to the Barossa. Ancient soils, old vines, and plenty of those first-class wines. A must-stop while you're there is my mates at Rusden Wines. I've done the trip, and there's nothing better than sitting in front of that fireplace with a glass of my old faithful Blackgut Shiraz. Footy season means red season, so do yourself a favour and make your next red a Rusden. Check out rusdenwines.com.au.
Ugh, that's enough to send shudders down anyone's spine. Did you know termites cause more damage to Adelaide and Australian homes each year than fire and flood combined? That's over $1 billion. But there's a simple solution. Start with visual termite inspection from SA's leading pest control specialists. Your team from Murray's.
No worries with the team from Murray's.
Go to murraypestcontrol.com.au.
Some builders think a sloping block has limitations. When Beechwood Homes look at a sloping block, they think, the possibilities. Beechwood Homes know how to make the most of a sloping block. In fact, they specialise in them. Beechwood will design a home that works with the land you have, taking full advantage of every square metre. So if you're looking at a sloping block, go for it. Beechwood has your back. Life's good. It's even better in a Beechwood home. Google Beechwood Adelaide.
Good Ride Tyres. What's your ride? A family hatch SUV or four-wheel drive? Whether you're driving to work, taking the kids to school, or going on an off-road adventure, at Good Ride Tyres, we have the tyres to keep you comfortable and safe, on or off the road. Quality, reliability at an affordable price. Good Ride Tyres. Tyres you can rely on. For all vehicles, great and small. For your nearest Good Ride Tyre stockist, visit goodridetyresaustralia.com.au.
5AA's coverage of the 2023 AFL Premiership season.
As a result, but high and straight, and the Doctors have strung two together and they lead.
Ryan goes hard. Better from Cox, he was outnumbered. They've still got their fridge, a little rubber. Now I reckon it's got there. They know it's got there.
And the opening term between Naarm and Walyalup was played with a lot of Durrung and a lot of Murrup. And we've been given information that in Woiwurrung language, Durrung means heart, Murrup means spirit, and perhaps Luke Jackson, the former Demon, was the dirt in the opening quarter. That means the star. Both teams still with their coaches. Incidentally, I have heard from Fremantle communications from Tanya Armstrong that Nathan Buckley has been observing the match day pre-match warm-up in Walyalup's rooms and is also sitting in the coach's box. He and Justin Longmuir have a relationship from Collingwood days, and Bucks was keen to get along and get into an unfamiliar coaching situation and see how it all works.
Yeah,
Lee and Jimmy before the second term.
Smitty wants to coach again.
Must.
I think that's it. That's got to be it. That's the conspiracy theory.
Gold Coast job.
It does. Could be.
Hardwick has a rifle.
Well, that's where Justin got hired from. He was Bucks' right-hand man before he got the Freo job. And Lee, it seemed like a real territory game. Both teams were able to get out of their back half but not score on the first entry, and both teams with scores off turnover from their front half. So it wasn't necessarily the first entry. They got them on the second time.
So we start the second quarter. What a beauty it has been. All thanks to tyre power, and straight out of the middle. Five has the ball. To the city end they go long. Almost a mark to Tracy, unable to complete it. Hands and knees, sleeve his handball, missed its target. Five through traffic was excellent. Gave it to Amos, gave it to Darcy. Chance now for Andrew Brayshaw of the Dockers. And he too has kicked long and wide, but sneaks in one behind. Walyalup 2-1-13, trail Narm 3-2-20 for Deep Heat on the boundary line. Jackie Reid.
Yeah, just keep an eye on Nat Fyfe. He looks a little bit sore after that contest, limping a little bit.
Bowie takes the kick in, plays on, kicks long in the Gawn direction. Got rid of Alex Pearce, but couldn't quite hold the mark. Tug of war on the ground. And it will be broken up in the traditional way.
Just some of the leading possession getters in the first quarter. Brayshaw 8, Sparrow 7 and Petrarca 7 for Melbourne. 5, 10, Young 10 and Luke Jackson, best man on the ground for Lee, 8.
He was the dirt. Kick up across the centre for the Demons. Neil Bullen tries to force it on. Sarong gets in his path, and there'll be a ball up. So it's at the attacking end of the centre square for Melbourne, about 60 metres from goal. Grundy runs hard to get to the ruck contest, brought it down, almost caught it with his attempted palm. Andrew Brayshaw, though, for Fremantle, gives to Fyfe, who drives it forward, crosses the wing on the members' side. Tracy up, can't hang on to the mark. Has support from Amos, but Lever prevailed, was tackled, didn't dispose adequately. And Jai Amos takes the free kick for the Dockers. Kicked a goal early, the 17th he's kicked this year in just his 10th game.
So to the city end they go. Walyalup trail by 7 points. It's a long kick. Melbourne have got 3 defenders back there. Angus Brayshaw, handball to Neil Bullen, who just very gently walks it out. So we just started the second quarter, 2 minutes gone. For Tyre Power by 3, get one free on Falcon Tyres at Tyre Power. And they're in a nice position here. The Dockers, ball's tossed in as Grundy gets the tap. Defensively, Neil Bullen's got to be good. Grundy to help out, had it and lost it and regained it. Another stoppage. Lee takes place deep in the forward pocket. City and Dockers into attack.
No, we've mentioned it a few times in the call. Nate Fyfe had 10 possessions, but he's actually working his way into the game really nicely.
So Darcy from the ruck to Andrew Brayshaw. The snap across the face of goal. Tracy's there and knocks the ball out of bounds. Jim, take us round the grounds. I think things are tight up there at Marvel.
They're as tight as it gets. Good buddy. Scores level at half-time. Hawthorn 4-10-34 to St Kilda 5-4-34.
Throw in, 30 around from the behind post. Dockers in attack. Grundy front position. Brought it down, but Sarong stole it. He's tackled. And there'll be another ball up. Lots of stoppages in the game. It is very tight in every way. Umpire Donlan throws it up. It favoured Darcy. His hand pass was stolen by Salem. He was brought to earth. And again, there's a grapple at ground level. And again, Chris Donlan comes in and will toss the ball up. It's almost directly in front of Fremantle's goal now. Grundy gets into good position. All about position in those contests. It comes to Salem. His quick kick is cut off by Aish, who has taken a mark. Angus Brayshaw not happy, as though he didn't think it went the required distance. And he let the umpire know, it seemed, but the umpire not for changing. And Aish can have a shot. Man on the mark, just inside 40. Aish near the boundary on the left flank. It's kickable, but won't be easy. Comes in, drop punt. Looks pretty good. It looks very good. There's a Docker contingent behind the City end goal, and they're out of their seats. Fremantle get the first of the second quarter, and it's a 1-point game. Narm 3-2, Walyalup 3-1 on the Tyre Power scoreboard.
So that little kick out of defence, we discussed, weren't we, the paying the free kick for not trying to keep the ball in play, but it does create those kind of goals because players in the belly deep in defence don't want to kick it towards the boundary line just in case they get a free kick, which I think they probably have to more often, Jimmy, because if you kick it a little kick and it gets intercepted, then it's a goal back over your head.
And players try and clear it through the air now, because previously you try and kick just a little mongrel or a little dribbler, just hope it dribbles out. But now if you try and hang it in the air, you hope someone comes over and forces a contest.
Get your free 5-minute tyre safety check at Tyre Power, who bring you the second quarter. Narm by a point over Walyalup back in the middle of the ground. Darcy knocks it forward.
Free.
And I think there's a Dockers free kick out of all of that.
Brayshaw.
Harms is trying to get to Brayshaw around the contest, and there'll be the odd hold that the umpire might ping every now and again.
Andrew Brayshaw has it. Arms on the mark, right in the middle of the ground. Swings it wide. Ryan up from defence, marks. And he goes long and deep into the forward pocket. It's a good kick too. Oh, a chance there that time then for Fife. Normally would grab that one. Handball desperate from defence. Goes out of bounds outside, attacking 50. Dockers are into attack, Jim, but they trail by a point.
He's almost had a couple of really nice marks associated with Nat Fife when he's been at his dominant best. Almost.
Yeah, that's true. Good game. Absolute beauty, this one. Early second quarter. Jackson takes it from the ruck. He gave the ball to Sarong, gave to O'Driscoll, whose kick goes toward full forward. Lever can't mark, but V there for Melbourne. Switcher plays onto the southern side. Gawn was the only target up the ground for Chandler, who still hasn't released the football, waiting for the teammates to get there. Now he goes wide, still at half-back, or maybe a little bit forward of half-back. And the mark is taken there, Tim, by Spargo. 20-19, Narm by a point. Tyre Power scoreboard, 6.5 into the second quarter.
Not the first time Spargo's had it in defence for Melbourne. A lot of running has to be done in this game. Kick to the wing, and Angus Brayshaw, who pokes it onto Sparrow. He slots it inside to Petrarca. 65 out. They're getting somewhere now. Kick towards Grundy. Can't quite hang on to the mark. Bowie there to collect the crumb. Hand pass away from goal to Lever. Just forward to the centre. Penetrating kick to within 20. Gawn was there, couldn't mark. Off the pack, Brayshaw for Freo. Gave to Fife to Sarong. Now to Johnson, who's got a man loose on the wing. That's Big Darcy, who gets to the drop of the ball, takes the mark. Can't see anything to go to, so is content to hold it up for a moment. Good disciplined play. He pushes wide, hoping for Banfield, but there'll be a free kick. They had a 2-on-1. And I think maybe Amos was the offender, and Hibbard will take the free kick for Melbourne at halfback. 3-2 to 3-1. Narm in front by a point on the Tyre Power scoreboard.
As Hibbard's kick toward the wing. Good mark, Tom McDonald. He wants to switch to the middle of the ground. They've got numbers there, Melbourne. Harms is one of them. Petrarca forced to kick hurriedly. Effective. Neil Bullen. Van Rooyen over the back, in short Spargo. Oh. They almost muck it up. Fritsch is there, round the body, one behind. As a lack of talk then bleedingly obvious, and Melbourne burn a real opportunity for a goal there, Jim.
Uncontested mark, 20 metres from goal. It does get in your eyes, doesn't it, Jimmy? And both Melbourne players thought it was theirs.
You're trying to work out who's in the wrong when you look at the replay.
I would say it was Carlton-like, as the ball brought into play by Young. Little chip straight down the middle to Cox. Young keeps coming to receive. Goes wide for Frederick in front. Can't mark. Spilling ball over with O'Driscoll. Melbourne there have the numbers. They win it back. Harms to Neil Bullen. Veers laterally and some more, and then places it right into the hands of Banfield for the opposition. Behind the centre line, he plays on as no one stands the mark, draws a man and then feeds over the top to Hughes, who gives to Johnson. Long for Fife from behind, got his hands on, couldn't hold the mark, and May arrives to help Melbourne out of a pickle. Taken by Angus Brayshaw, gives to Bowie, back to May, swinging high, left footer, not a lot of depth. Gawn under it though, takes a very good mark for Melbourne behind the wing over on the southern side.
Jackie Reid on the boundary.
Yeah, a bit of a worry for the Dockers. Sean Darcy's just gone down into the rooms with the doctors. He was limping pretty heavily as he came off the ground.
So I thought went forward, Melbourne. Thought Fritsch was absolutely shepherded away from the ball in contest. Van Rooyen gets the ball to Chandler, who kicks it out on the full. Jackie, can you please take a look at that seagull right in front of you? It is in absolute danger. And I know that deep heat can fix a lot of things up, but it is limping rather badly.
Let's hope we don't have to add that little buddy to the injury route today.
Oh, that's what we need.
I wonder how a seagull would react to some deep heat.
Might fix it up more quickly than you think, Tim.
Remember that seagull that spent the whole day on the ground a couple of years ago?
Yeah. Sometimes at the cricket too, with cricket balls flying around at 150 kilometres an hour. Gawn's got it, kick short to Bowie, just forward of the centre line.
Hang on.
For the D's.
I can see an emergency umpire coming out.
Might be Reece Conger, is it? The runner. Kick into the 50 for Melbourne. No one can mark. Pickett's got it. Was he taken high? Didn't get rid of it when he was tackled. And Walyulup take the free kick. Sarong sideways to Aish.
Great call by the umpire, isn't it?
Yeah, I think he paid that. He did really ducked into the tackle on that one, even for those who were barrack for the bloke with the ball. I think he ducked into
Horrible kick from Aish, but all's well that ends well. It wobbled into the hands of O'Meara. Former Sun, and Hawke goes back into the 50. And Cox for the Dockers. And they switch play now to Hughes, who goes wide, members side, finds Ryan, still between half-back and wing. It is Melbourne 3-3, Fremantle 3-1. Goals hard to come by. We are 10.5 minutes into the second quarter. And now Fremantle traverse the same route, but in reverse. It's back with Cox in the defensive 50. Goes to the southern side and Walker. Waits for the bounce. Collects. Kicks in the Aish direction. Two bigger men against him. He was well positioned, so they had to go the spoil. And it's over the line for a throw-in right on the southern wing. 11 gone. Melbourne by 2 points.
Scoring stride up. Concern for that seagull. Still in the middle of the ground, closer to centre half forward where the Dockers are going. City end. 2 points the margin. Nam in front. Jackson the tap. Aish is there, able to get the ball away. Matt Johnson of the Dockers, defensive side of the wing, southern side of the ground. Tracy and Angus Brayshaw. Good effort. Both men ran really hard at it. And the ball is out of bounds. Any thoughts, Lee, why the scoring stride up?
Oh, I think just both sides are defending pretty well. The half chances just have gone begging a little bit. No, it's a good quality game, though. Very hard, pretty hot ball.
Maybe into attack. Oh, no, back on the southern wing. Banfield, great tap that time. Got it to Matt Johnson. Handball to Frederick. Rode a bump from Bowie. Bowie had it, lost it, released it, dropped it. Still inside attacking 50. Dockers are into attack ball, not coming out. 21-19. Demons are in front by 2 points, Tim. Low scoring game, as Lee's pointed out. Plenty of excitement. 12 gone second quarter. Tyre Power scoreboard, your trusted tyre experts.
Gawn beats Jackson in the ruck contest, took it out of the air, kicked to the wing, taken by McDonald, gave to Chandler under the pump, got it to Petrarca, a good kick bearing in mind a tackle, finds Van Rooyen, but not really in a scoring position, outside 50, out near the boundary, kicks to the top of the goal square, up, Fritsch can't mark, Young's got it, goes safely backwards to Hughes on the scoreline, gives to Young, an escape route out via the back pocket, kicks out over the 50, all Melbourne, Harms has it, just outside 50, little dink towards Petrarca, stolen though by Banfield for the Dockers, high ball over the 50 provides relief, socket Melbourne, Fremantle's way by Brayshaw to Frederick, to Tracy running forward and driving long into the 50 for Fremantle. Nothing there. Hibbard leads Amos to the ball and then turns him Tone.
Inside out.
That's it.
And he kicks long to the wing, but Ace takes the mark. Chance for the Dockers. Can they find a target? Yes, they can. Switkowski's got it. O'Driscoll's free if he wants to go there. He'll take the responsibility from 45 out. Chance to put the Dockers in front. Down to you, Jackie, for deep heat. The sub has been made.
Yeah, well, Walyulup has made their sub. Sam Sturt is into the game. It looks like Sean Darcy is the man that's out. He's still down in the rooms receiving treatment.
Feel at work with deep heat, the iconic and trusted brand for pain relief. So Switkowski, very kickable. He'll kick from just inside 50. Got a little close to the man on the mark, I would have thought, Jim, and as a result, pulls it left.
Yeah, bringing Sturt to the game is another mid-forward type, of plenty of run on the game.
So who has to take because they're going to be up against two stars in Gawn and Grundy. Who gets that on an hour?
Well, Jackson will do majority with maybe some Trakey will do the pinch hitting in the ruck.
So the long kick in that time from Rivers was good. Salem has the ball knocked out of his hand after he marks. So a fine voice this afternoon.
Farrell.
1 point game, why not? Salem, members side, half back to the wing. Gawn just shoved out of the way legally, said the umpire. And Jackson takes it. He's going to go backwards, Hughes, further to the southern side. It's all the Dockers there. Alex Pearce has it, but really no one to go to. So now you have to come back literally from where it came from. Oh, sorry, Tim, from whence it came, as Cox has got the ball.
He kicks wide to the wing to O'Driscoll, right in front of the members, and has a good hard think about it. Comes inside now onto his preferred left boot and drives it to within 40 of goal. Jackson there, but he's gone lurching. Yeah. And he will take a free kick with the man on the mark about 46 metres from goal. Jackson will be directly in front. Members having a look at it on the big screen, not liking what they see one bit. And it did look to be one of those little collisions that happens incidentally, and it caught Jackson at that moment when it unbalanced him. So he gets a free, and it could be telling. The Dockers trail by a point. Let's see what he's got in that right leg. Comes in slowly. Will kick from 49. On its way. It just drags left. And it's a minor score, and scores are absolutely level, which is about where they should be. It's been a terrific contest. Goals hard to come by, 16.5 gone, 3-3 apiece.
Yeah, as Salem kicks long, May gets a clean run at it, half-back member side. Takes the mark, running by almost into trouble was Rivers. He ran himself into trouble. The handball was turned over by Hughes, gave it to Young to Aish. Fremantle, all of this on the members' wing to Switkowski. He's going to go to a one-on-one. Amos caught behind. Hibbert takes the mark. He's gone dangerously to Neil Bullen. Clark knocks it away. He's outnumbered. Neil Bullen does beautifully. Harms was grabbed high for sure, but to the blind side of the umpire. Jim, we get a stoppage. Between wing and half forward, Dockers again into attack.
Just so much pressure on every kick in this game. That's why we're seeing so many turnovers at the crucial point.
So ball's tossed up. Jackson, the tap. Petrarca down there. Grundy, the shovel. Arms tackled, loses it. Grundy follows up. His handball missed. Jackson's having a beauty. He got the ball to O'Meara. 25 up the ground. He finds Andrew Brayshaw. 4 to the wing on the member side. Jackie Reid.
Yep, Sean Darcy confirmed right hamstring injury. He's got ice on that, sitting in the second row of the bench now.
Just one goal kicked in 17.5 minutes, and that by Fremantle. Brayshaw drives it, and it is brilliantly marked by Tracy. 40 metres out, 45-degree angle, and should surely put Freo in front by a point at worst, but preferably for the visitors by a goal.
Proper big man mark that was. Yeah. He pushed his way to the front and launched at the footy, Tracy.
Lines them up in traditional way and starts in straight approach. Kicks it from 40 and puts it through. Did everything right there. It was right out of the textbook. Harry Mackay and one or two others have a look at a replay of that. Fremantle lead by a goal, 4-3-27. Melbourne 3-3-21 beyond the 18-minute mark of the second term. Here's Lee Matthews.
Well, it'll be interesting. I said I'm joking about Luke Jackson early in the game, but now he's going to have to do the ruck work. He's had a terrifically influential game. He's had 12 disposals, only 3 of them marks. Like, his ground level stuff that is really valuable. But now he's going to be sort of pushing and shoving against Gawn and Grundy. And he's very rarely played gigantic minutes as the ruckman. So if he continues this form, Fremantle will just about win the game. But the question is, can he go the distance against the double teaming in that role?
Dockers trail by 8 points at quarter time. We're nearly at time on second quarter. 2 goals to nothing in this quarter. Leaves Walyulup 6 points in front of Naarm, back in the middle of the ground. Viney knocks the ball forward from the stoppage. Pick it over, runs it. Walker had it, dropped it, free kick Melbourne. Langdon, is he going to take the advantage? He does. Found Neil Bullen. Van Rooyen, the lead, got it high. Umpire says play on. Cox got it up. Gave to Sturt, the substitute, on to a contest. Well done, Hibbert. Got there. Went to play on. Stopped in his tracks, Tim, and now will slow play it to a man. And that's Rivers, about 20 up the ground on the southern side wing. While you're up by 6 points, Melbourne knocking it around on the southern wing.
Short to Harms.
Sorry, Tim.
Yep.
Held him up well the last 5 minutes, Hibbert. A couple of big one-on-ones.
There is a Finney. You know, the man on it was Tracy, the offender, who ran around behind the man on the mark, but somehow managed to find his way into the no-go zone. And umpire Donlan has pinged him. And that gives Melbourne and Harms a shot at goal with the man on the mark inside 40 metres and the angle slight.
A little fitty. Only 2 Ds in that one.
Harms, pretty good kick of the footy. Melbourne a goal down beyond the 20-minute mark of the second term at the MCG. Harms comes in and stabs it and misses. He dragged it to the left. Minor score. Dockers by 5, 4-3 to 3-4.
Had a couple of chances today, Harms. Back into the side. Ryan to bring it back into play. And he more or less will go up the middle of the ground to the Dockers. Tracy there. Lever worked his way to the front. Dockers have numbers at the fall of the ball as O'Meara gives to Jackson. He kicks long beyond 5. Or 5 stays down. Pack collapses. Keeps it alive against the boundary line. Slips. Composes himself. Does it okay. Switkowski's got to go. Tackled beautifully by Grundy. Ball was freed up. Rivers too slow. Had to release the ball. All this half back for Melbourne. Picked up then by Pickett. Gave to Salem. To Grundy. Takes his time. Runs forward. Runs back. Little bit of the hokey pokey taking place at the moment. Went to Pickett. He just dropped it cold on the wing. Play on is the call at the moment. Cox over the football at the moment. I reckon it's going to be a stop. No, Melbourne free. Melbourne free. Right, Tim, right in front, as it turns out, as O'Driscoll slow to get up.
Noise of affirmation.
That was a crowd free kick. Hand pass to Angus Brayshaw. Kick into the 50. Fritsch roves the pack brilliantly. Runs goalward. And then hand passes to Spargo. Back to Fritsch on the non-preferred. So he gives to Harms. Has another go. And this time, bingo. Demons back in front by 1 point. 4-4-28. 3-0-4-3-27 beyond the 22-minute mark. Half-time, not too far away.
He's an interesting player, James Home. I reckon Melbourne have played their best footy the last couple of years when he's been part of that midfield mix. I mean, obviously with Oliver injured, that's part of the reason he's in there, but he takes the match up. He's actually trying to take Angus Brayshaw, and Brayshaw's had a little bit of the ball, but Harms has probably just about drawn the contest, but he gives him a different look in the midfield group when he's in their centre square a fair bit.
Yeah, he takes the best opposition midfielder as a starting point, but he still tries to score on them, which is great. But how much of Bailey Fritsch, he was lining up for goal and saw Spargo back inside and thought, we sort of fluffed one before here, I better give it off to you. And I played a bit of 1-2 before it got to Harms for the finish.
Late in the quarter, the Demons lead by 1 point after the Harms goal. Play restarts middle of the ground. Petrarca, scything handball through the traffic in the middle of the ground. Follows up Petrarca. Great effort. Goes this time to Grundy. Oh, would have been fantastic. I don't know. Hey, Jim, what does it mean when someone's playing out of their skin?
It's a good question.
Because all I can see from Petrarca, he's still pretty much intact.
He's in his skin.
He's in his skin.
And using it well.
What about the running ruckman? Jackson obviously has had it. So's Grundy. The ruckman running the ball away from the congestion. Geez, that's exciting when that happens.
Thumping kick back into play by Luke Ryan off the pack. The ball disappears from view and there'll be a ball up.
Tyre Power scoreboard. Get the power of Australia's biggest independent tyre retailer. Nam 4-5-29, Wallul up 4-3-27, Tim. Ball on the members' wing.
Demons kicked a couple late in the first quarter. From the stoppage here, O'Meara got a little soccer kick which finished up in the breadbasket of Svitkowski, but it didn't go the required distance. So there'll be another ball up. Viney's got it. He is tackled by Brayshaw Jr. and O'Meara Sr. And there'll be a ball up again. Melbourne side of the centre as they go to the punt road end. Grundy guides this down to Sparrow, whose kick was smothered, but it worked out well for Angus Brayshaw. Kicks forward, just eluded, gone out near the boundary. He's tackled by Pearce, and the spillage has gone all over the boundary line, and it'll be thrown in about 15 or 20 around from the left behind post. Melbourne 4-5, Freo 4-3, 24 and a half gone second term.
Yeah, repeating news, Darcy's gone with a hamstring. Sturt, the smaller forward on. Melbourne have it tossed in 25 around from their goal. Jackie, I'll go down to you for a fuller report.
Yeah, just repeating that news. Yep, Sean Darcy is out for the game with a right hamstring complaint. Sam Sturt did replace him. It's pretty calm on the Narm side of things. Their tactical sub today is James Jordan. Yeah, they're into attack to the Demons. 2 points they lead by. Late in the quarter at the punt road end. Gorn tries to flip it out the back, read by Sarong of the Dockers. His handball went to Ryan, who barrels one. And it's a thing of beauty there, Tim. He's kicked it every bit of 70 metres. Now, the man out there was Sturt. It's a 2-on-2 battle. Sturt to Frederick. Dockers are going to come up with it on the outer wing. O'Meara involved. Matt Johnson this time. Waits, drew a man. Oh, Young's in awful trouble here. Handball under pressure. It's turned around. Spargo's got the ball. Goes to McPhee. Back to Spargo. Back to Langdon, I should say, on the wing, who gave it to Spargo. Steps inside a man, and now Melbourne can break.
And they've done it well. Langdon gets a hand pass forward to Van Rooyen. Inside to Neil Bullen. He gave to Petrarca. But gee, they've got him under a tight hold. He's tackled, and the ball just dribbled off his boot to the boundary for a throw-in. 35 around from the right behind post. But again, Melbourne coming on strong late in the quarter. 26 gone. Been a miserly quarter. It wouldn't be a long one, you wouldn't think. From the throw-in, Neil Bullen's got it again. He just let himself be tackled, lost the footy, and is penalised. And Hughes will take the free kick for the Dockers inside defensive 50. Over towards the southern half-back flank. His little kick hangs in the air. Reaches Sarong, though, before interference. Sarong kicks to a lead from Henry, who was dragged down as he was trying to mark. It's a free. It might be advantage. Svitkowski runs forward, gives to O'Meara, stabs in the Fife direction. Well covered, though, by May. And the spillage is taken by Bowie, who goes wide to Langdon. And he takes a mark high at half-back southern side for the Demons, who are 4-5 to the Dockers 4-3.
Yep. It's less than a minute remaining in this half. To the southern wing it goes again. It's a Dockers Mark Cox to take it. What a player he's become. Can go short. And the Dockers on the outer wing is taken there by O'Meara. Goes backwards to Cox, closer to centre half back. Fremantle controlling it, knocking it around. Hughes to Ryan. Ryan probably just realised, let's not turn it over. Take the 2-point deficit as we get to half-time. Hughes' kick will go wide. Sarong takes the mark. He can see Matt Johnson. Ignores him. Frederick has it. So you want to go quickly. They've got a late chance if they can find a grab going inside. Can't quite get there. Taking the mark that time then was Lever. He's trying to release the ball. That'll take us to half-time when the ball's tossed up. And both sides will walk away from this half pretty pleased with their efforts. Nothing in the game whatsoever. So unless a free kick is given away in this ruck contest, which it's not, we get to half-time when Narm 4-5-29 lead Walyalup 4-3-27 in that quarter. 2-1. The Dockers kicked 2 goals, 3. Demons 1 goal, 3. And what was an 8-point lead, the Narm at quarter time, is now a 2-point margin. Jim, play should be underway. It was even at half-time. Play's moved on early stages, third quarter.
Yeah, a couple to St Kilda early in the third quarter. They're 7-4-46 to Hawthorn, 4 goals, 11-35.
The half-time wrap for Sheen panel service coming up as Lee and Jimmy. Low scoring, but a most entertaining game at half-time. Narm 4-5-29, Walyalup 4-3-27. Right across Australia, thanks to Macca's. It's a new season for the McSpicy range at Macca's. Order via McDelivery on the My Macca's app through 6PR Perth, 5AA in Adelaide and Relays. You're listening to 3RW Football.
This is 5AA Football. At selected Shell Coles Express, grab your Fight MND beanie for just $25 and save 4 cents per litre off Shell fuel while you're there. To register, download the AFL Live app and click on the Shell V-Power banner. Shell will donate 1 cent to Fight MND for every litre of fuel purchased till June 12 through the AFL Live app. Fuel the 2023 Toyota AFL Premiership season with Shell V-Power, the official fuel partner of the AFL. T's and C's apply.
Hi, Callum Hand here, Ambassador for Pick a Local, Pick SA. South Australian citrus is now in season. Riverland grown mandarins, oranges, limes, lemons, all bursting with flavour and can be found in your local fruit and veg store right now. Or why not try something new this season and grab a Tangelo, Cara or blood orange. Support our local growers and shop in stores displaying the red Pick a Local, Pick SA sign. And follow us on Facebook for inspiration, recipes and more ways to enjoy South Australian grown.
I'm here at Cherry Glen Osmond to take a test drive of the car that everyone is raving about, the Cherry Emotor 5. Oh, these seats are so comfortable, and the state-of-the-art tech is worthy of a car 3 times its price. And almost every function of the vehicle can be controlled by voice. Check this out. Cherry?
Yes, I'm here.
Open sunroof.
Got it. It's opening.
Book yourself a test drive of this incredible Emotor 5 from 33k drive away. Visit gocherry.com.au.
Okay, so what makes Zambrero so Zam good? It's all the Zam good Zambrero flavours. Pick freshly made tomato salsa, juicy corn salsa, or coriander and onion salsa. Choose from slow-cooked beef, chicken, lamb, pulled pork, or go veggie or vegan. Top it off with a huge range of delicious sauces and rock it with guac. Zambrero, more than 20 Zamgood restaurants around Adelaide.
Bula! Fiji Airways is on sale now, so get ready for an extraordinary adventure with awesome deals. Fly Adelaide to Nandi return, no checked baggage from just $789. Or check one bag for $849. That includes taxes. Don't miss this opportunity to embark on an unforgettable journey with loved ones. Book now at FijiAirways.com. Conditions apply.
Fiji Airways. Mum and I want to chat about your performance.
Yeah? You're averaging just 1.7 loads of washing a month and a cleaning differential of -10.
We need more bin disposals.
Let's see some improvement, or we'll hit you where it hurts.
The pocket.
A simple do your chores would have done it, but okay.
Get 12 months of KO Basic with a new Telstra home internet plan. It could change your life. For Telstra personal customers taking up a new home internet service, roll on to KO Basic standard month-to-month fees after offer, unless you change or cancel. Must sign up via Telstra.
I'm Craig Lowndes, supercar driver and an ambassador for the Australian Road Safety Foundation. I'm calling on all Australian road users to bring back the thank you wave and make our roads safer ahead of Fatality Free Friday. Whether you're walking, riding, driving or as a passenger, we all have a role to play in keeping our roads safe. Let's all do our part and choose road safety for a fatality-free future.
This sports update thanks to Automasters. Switch to Automasters for AutoCam. Real-time video reporting of your car's condition. Call 1300 Automasters. 5AA's coverage of the 2023 AFL Premiership season.
It looks very good. There's a Docker contingent behind the City end goal, and they're out of their seat. Just one goal kicked in 17.5 minutes, and that by Fremantle. Brayshaw drives it, and it is brilliantly marked by Tracy. 40 metres out, 45-degree angle. Kicks it from 40 and puts it through. Did everything right there. It was right out of the text. Runs goalward, and then hand passes to Spargo. Back to Fridge on the non-preferred. So he gives to Harms, has another go, and this time, bingo! Demons back in front.
It is half-time here at the G. What a game we're enjoying. Low scoring, but the excitement, plenty of it. Full thanks to Sheen Panel Service. We'll move into the half-time wrap. Had a car accident, the name to trust. Call Sheen first. Sheen Panel Service. They'll handle your repair process from start to finish. Provide an accident replacement vehicle, and the number to remember, if you are in that bingle, call 1300 Repair. Nice and easy, 1300 Repair. As Nam Demons 4-5-29 over Walyalup 4-3-27, 2-point margin there. And it's pretty tight up the river at Marvel with the Saints 4 points in front of the Hawks. Lee, Jimmy, low scoring as we've said, but most enjoyable.
Yeah, it is good, buddy. Lots of pressure on this game. Two teams who are in great nick, and they're putting a lot of pressure, Lee, I feel, once that final kick goes inside forward 50. And just looking at the score sources, both sides are scoring off turnover, but doing it in a different way. But they're getting, I guess, the field position first, so they're winning the ball back, they're getting field position, and then because of the pressure, there's been a turnover inside their forward 50. But because there's enough pressure on the way they set up defensively as they bring the ball forward, they're able to get that turnover and score on a re-entry. And Freo tend to do it with all their mids and their small forwards who flood all the way back up through the middle of the ground. They crowd the centre of the ground, and then they try and put a lot of pressure on you when they come back through the middle, and then they get you on the turnover that way, where Melbourne tend to do it with how we've come accustomed to with May, Lever and Hibbert, who I thought was really good in that quarter in particular, is by intercepting, working off one another, reading, I guess, the ball flight. So they've been able to turn the ball over. Those guys get up the ground, and then they're able to ping it back inside forward 50.
Well, it's a low score, 9 scoring shots to 7, so it's not as if there's not a whole lot of scoring, but like 27 inside 50s to 28, so the ball's moving. It's going from end to end. So I look at those basic numbers. It means the back 50s of both sides have been very good.
Yep.
The ball's been getting to those. That might be in aerially, I guess. As you mentioned, May, Hibbert and Lever, and up the other end, Cox, Pearce, Ryan, maybe Young. But it's an entertaining game. I mean, it's 34 tackles to 33. They're just basic numbers. But a lot of those are the run-down tackles, and they're the ones that really count. That if a player is got to be out in space and someone can run him down and lay the tackle, and both sides, I think, are applying really good run-down tackle pressure, which has made it hard to sort of set up easy shots at goal and give your defenders a chance to defend in this system rather than just being out of position on the way through.
The two midfield groups, and I sort of, when you're looking at the numbers and watch the game, I thought coming into this game, Freo would have had a bit more of an edge when the ball got away from the initial contest. You know, the ground ball get game where the ball's loose and you get the numbers out. But where Melbourne's done well today against Freo, and they're probably really prepared for it, is actually that ground ball get and post clearances, they say in some of those stats. They've been able to actually get out, win a few of those ground balls, that tackling pressure. So I feel like Melbourne's getting a bit of an edge where Freo normally has a strength in that area. And
Petrarca, when he's good, can get the sort of the meatest game because he's a very sort of penetrating player when he sort of runs with the ball, then sort of get good distance on his kicking. So and when he's sort of heavily involved in the game, Melbourne soon have a maximum penetration out of the congestion.
Freo's just got to be careful. I know they love to take the sting out of the game. They like a bit of control with the ball, but they've just got to be careful. Melbourne, at different stages in that quarter, allowed them to just take those marks and go backwards and sideways. And I know they're there and you just take them and you force Melbourne to defend, but Melbourne were able to take a bit of a breath, a bit of a breather, and just come back. And I've seen Melbourne do this against other good sides this year. They just come back and all they're waiting is for you to come forward, and then they outnumber you when you come forward and then get you on the rebound.
This is the halftime wrap for Sheen Panel Service. It is a 2-point lead to the Demons. Would you be so kind, Jim, to some of the individual and collective team numbers? Because we can't imagine there's any great discrepancy in any part of the game so far.
No, I'll start with the team ones. There's only 15 difference in disposals. Freo's got the edge there, 187 to 172. They're doing a little bit differently. Freo's kick and mark, so they've had 110 kicks to Melbourne's 88. Of course, Melbourne's had more handballs there. Lee highlighted inside forward 50s, 28 to 27, with Freo with the edge. Contested possession, Melbourne's got the edge there by 9. And tackles 34 apiece. So all the team numbers are pretty level because the game is so tight. But the individual, Angus Brayshaw for the D's, 14. Christian Petrarca, 14. Salem, 12. Harms, 11. And for the Dockers, Hayden Young. He's had 16 touches across half-back. Andrew Brayshaw has had 16. Nat Fyfe, 13, who I mentioned had an almost game back to the big high-marking Nat Fyfe. And best on ground, Luke Jackson's had 13 touches with 5 clearances as well.
Lee, the impact of losing Sean Darcy in the second quarter to a hamstring injury hasn't bitten yet.
Well, yeah, it might though. I mean, it's interesting. At the moment, like the hit-outs are 27-13 in favour of Melbourne, but the clearances are slightly 14-19 in favour of Fremantle. But I would have thought in that part of the game, I suspect Jackson will tire a bit more. He's only a 21-year-old. He's not a mature ruckman, and the fact that Gould and Grundy are going to be double teaming, that is a vulnerable part of the game in the second half for Fremantle. Of course, again, I think Jackson's been really good, but whether he can actually just run a strong game out in that main ruck position, if the Melbourne ruckmans can sort of dominate the hit-outs, then okay, that helps them in the ground level clearance part of the game.
Final word, lads. Have you seen a better goal than the Keziah Pickett one to start the game?
There's been some good ones this year. Yeah, it's the best one I've seen today.
Well,
thank you.
It's amazing, isn't it, when you think of it? Like, so it's bounced low for the first about 4 bounces, and then on the 5th bounce it went over about 10 feet in the air over the head of the Fremantle player. I mean, that was just freaky. I don't know how he planned that, but it was very good planning, Jimmy.
Poor Hayden Young got long hop, didn't he?
It is half-time here, thanks to Sheen Panel Service at the G. Naarm 4-5-29, Walyulup 4-3-27. Jimmy, before we take our final break and restart the third quarter, would you be so kind as to take us? What's taking place up at Marvel?
We've got a close game up at Marvel. St Kilda 8-4-52, Hawthorn 5-13, 43, with about 7 minutes to go in the third.
The Demons by 2 points at half-time right across Australia, thanks to Maccas. You're listening to 3AW Football.
This is 5AA Football.
Tyre Power's Mega May sale gives you the power to save on a mega range of Falcon tyres. Enjoy mega savings on a great range of all-terrain Falcon tyres for your SUV or four-wheel drive. Buy 3 and get 1 free. Buy 3 and get 1 free on selected Falcon tyres right now at Tyre Power. Get the power of a safer drive during Tyre Power's Mega May sale. Visit tyrepower.com.au or call 13 21 91 for your local independent owner.
How easily could you save hundreds off your energy bills? That easy. Switch out your gas or electric hot water system for an energy-efficient heat pump with EcoVantage. Then sit back and save up to 70% on your water heating costs. And get it supplied and installed for as little as $0, thanks to government-facilitated subsidies. Yep, new hot water system from $0 that saves you hundreds. Pump your energy bills down with ecovantage.com.au.
If you've ever wondered what the extra stands for in Physio Extra, that's easy.
Extra everything. Extra time with every appointment.
Extra care with a genuine hands-on approach to healing.
Extra expertise. Extra treatment options.
Extra appointments with same-day treatments available. Extra convenient because we have 6 Physio Extra locations around Adelaide. That's right, 6.
It's the extra in Physio Extra that makes all the difference. Visit physioextra.com for your nearest location or call for a same-day appointment.
Over 60,000 Adelaide homes have said yes to saving money on their energy bills with Yes, Your Energy Saving Solutions. What's keeping you? Your Energy Saving Solutions can connect you with the SA government initiative called REPS. To save money on heating this winter, Yes is offering eligible households a 2.6 kilowatt Rinnai system for only $699. For T's and C's on this unbeatable offer from Your Energy Saving Solutions, go to yes.net.au. That's yes.net.au.
Bula! Fiji Airways is on sale now, so get ready for an extraordinary adventure with awesome deals. Fly Adelaide to San Francisco or LA return. No checked baggage from just $1,115. Or check one bag for $1,325. That includes taxes. Don't miss this opportunity to embark on an unforgettable journey with loved ones. Book now at FijiAirways.com. Conditions apply.
Fiji Airways. At selected Shell Coles Express, grab your Fight MND beanie for just $25 and save 4 cents per litre off Shell fuel while you're there. To register, download the AFL Live app and click on the Shell V-Power banner. Shell will donate 1 cent to Fight MND for every litre of fuel purchased till June 12 through the AFL Live app. Fuel the 2023 Toyota AFL Premiership season with Shell V-Power, the official fuel partner of the AFL. T's and C's apply.
5AA's coverage of the 2023 AFL Premiership season.
3AW 693.
Good afternoon, I'm Gabriel Hodson. A teenage girl fighting for life in the Alfred is the sole survivor of an horrific crash in Victoria's West, which has killed 4 people. Around 9:30 this morning, the car lost control and left the Wannon-Negretta Road at Bukhara, slamming into a tree. Police in Melbourne's West are speaking with a man after an alleged hit-run crash at Point Cook. It's left a 53-year-old woman fighting for life in the Royal Melbourne. Another power price rise on the horizon. From July, Aussie households on default electricity plans will see an increase of up to 25%. The state opposition is calling for the Andrews government to dump its plans to hit private schools with new taxes. The move was announced in the state budget and would see the removal of a long-standing payroll tax exemption from 110 schools with annual fees of more than $7,500. The New South Wales National Parks and Wildlife Service says threatening behaviour won't be tolerated after a horse's head was dumped outside the agency's office in the Snowy Mountains. It's understood the gruesome find is related to a Brumby management plan. And in tennis, Aussie doubles champ Storm Hunter has earned a mains draw berth in the singles at Roland Garros. The 28-year-old won against American teen Ashlyn Kruger in the final qualifying round. We'll have more news after the footy.
Through 6PR in Perth, 5AA in Adelaide, and nationwide via the 3AW app. You're listening to 3AW's coverage of the 2023 AFL Premiership season.
And welcome back, everyone, to the MCG. That has a low-scoring but most interesting game taking place at the moment, with the Demons 4-5-29, the Dockers 4-3-27. Up the river at Marvel, it's still nice and tight there, with St Kilda by 9 points with around 4.5 minutes to three-quarter time in front of the Hawks. But plenty's been happening at the boundary level. Well, thanks to Deep Heat, fast, targeted, effective pain relief from the iconic brand you know and trust. And it, of course, is Jim. Feel it work. GP. Yeah, thank you very much. Jackie, we've heard, repeat obviously the big sub for the Dockers, but are Melbourne relatively unscathed at the moment? Any knocks or bruises you've identified?
Yeah, they certainly are. So the doctor did go out and check Angus Brayshaw at one point, but he's okay. So it's all clear for them. Their tactical sub is James Jordan, who is yet to be required for Walyalup. Sean Darcy's the big one there, the right hamstring injury. He's been subbed out. Sam Sturt replaced him in the second quarter, and just still keep an eye on Luke Ryan. He was pretty ginger throughout that second term with a hamstring issue. I think they're just working on it. Looks like it's a bit tight, and he's just trying to get his way through that.
Excellent stuff. What's the chill factor like down there?
No, it's lovely down here today. I would say it's balmy compared to the last couple of weeks we've had, so it's lovely.
A couple of minutes away from
Toasty.
the recommencement. About a minute and a half away from the recommencement of the game. Jimmy,
yes.
Lee, some thoughts, please.
Well, the question for me, I guess, is can Fremantle continue the sort of the tempo and pressure they're playing? The Jackson roll around the middle we've spoken about against now one out against Gawn and Grundy. You'd think Melbourne have got the ability to keep going at this tempo on the game. And anyway, it's a good game. What Fremantle have done the last few weeks, then you wouldn't doubt that they could keep going. It's a really interesting contest.
Yeah, just composure going inside forward 50. Good buddy. Both sides are getting plenty of opportunities. It's just which side can make the other team pay.
So 2 points is the margin. Crowd for sure has built up since the commencement. Half to go, big game, up for grab for Robot Building Supplies, bringing the third quarter. Here's Tim Lane.
Jackson looks into the eyes of the man who was his skipper when Melbourne won the flag 2 seasons ago. Climbs over him and gets the tap to Fife. And now to Sarong, who swings Fremantle into attack at the start of the third quarter to the punt road end. Cleverly picked up by Amos, got a hand pass to Banfield, ran into a dead end, gives to Fife. He runs into a different dead end, gives back to Banfield. Little left footer is excellent. Hits the target. Amos, 45 out directly in front.
That's the way. Hibbert's been really good in the overhead contest, but he just sort of found the little bit of hole to move into, but great effort by Banfield to find him.
Yeah, I think nearly everyone here at the MCG thought he was going to wind up and have a whack from 50, but just pulled the kick late.
Amos kicked one. Similar sort of set shot in the first quarter. Left footer, 19-year-old. from Bustleton in his second season and kicking goals for the Dockers. He comes in, gets under it. He mightn't have the depth, or might he? I reckon he might have just made it. He has. And Fremantle are in front. A minute into the third quarter, they're 5-3-33, leading Naarm 4-5-29 on the Robot Building Supply score.
It's kicking, isn't he? I mean, last night when we were watching the Carlton game and Charlie Curnow just wanted to kick the ball, those low-driven kicks. He kicks it high in the air, Amos. It just hangs in the air. It's a long, high kick. Will it carry?
He actually got drafted because of he's a good player, but his conversion is what stood out at the Colts level there over in the West. I think he kicked 51 goals, 17
straight,
in his under-18 year, and has a real process, as we can see. And looking back on that one, Melbourne sort of blurred their effort there on the line, because Max Gawn was in front of the goal line. He should have come back off the fence and he would have touched that easy.
So Dockers by 4 points. We restart minute into the third quarter for Robot Building Supplies. Melbourne clearance, that time from Petrarca. Front of the pack, taken by Pickett, releases the ball to a running Viney, quieted at 8. Chance though to goal from 55 metres, ball on its way. Oh, it's got there. It's either a Melbourne mark or it is a goal. There's the reply, Viney, was magnificent 2 weeks ago when we saw him here. Naarm 5-5-35 to Walyalup. He is 5-3-33. So the Demons by 2 points, lead goal each. We struggled for goals in the second quarter. We've been going 2.5 in the third for Robot Building Supplies, and already both sides on the scoreboard.
Well, that centre bounce clearance that goes straight down the centre corridor, really, and they just were able to run onto it, and Viney received the handball and was sort of be able to nail it from the just inside the 50-metre line. Yeah, if you can get the ball running forward out of when everyone is separated from end to end at the centre bounces, always the most likely way you'll kick a quick goal.
Yeah, right, good buddy. That was only his 4th touch for the game.
Which game did we see him 2 weeks ago? And it was fantastic. We'll come to that better moments. Tim, play restarts middle of the ground. Sarong has it. Looks like the Dockers can break.
And Brayshaw's got it. Goes wide with a hand pass. Awkward bounce for O'Driscoll. Has to double back tackle. Oh, dodgy looking hand pass. Demon fans saw it. They don't like it. Near the boundary. Spargo and ball bustled over. Throw in. Probably in fairness to the umpire, the player with the ball had his back to him, and he just couldn't see the manner of disposal, which looked a little shaky. Might have been adjudged as a legitimate attempt without prior opportunity. Anyway, it matters not. Throw in. Gawn front posse against Jackson. Got the tap cleanly, but Fife will steal it. He's gang tackled. Brought down. Ball up.
I just think, wouldn't the free kicks be very different if the Melbourne crowd were actually adjudicating the game? What the two captains like used to in the early days.
Gawn wins again in the ruck to Angus Brayshaw. A hand pass for Sparrow, who kept it in plays on his knees. He got a little hand pass. Meanwhile, Angus Brayshaw was groped over the shoulder, and he comes out of it with a free kick for Melbourne just behind the wing. Members side. Tangled with his little brother in about that spot in the first quarter. Stabs a short kick. Sparrow receives it, still on the centre line for the Demons.
It was against the Hawks, Jim, that Viney was tremendous. So they've moved it well to Petrarca, to Angus Brayshaw. Melbourne City and well done, Cox. Takes the defensive mark as it's a 2-point game in favour of Naarm. Short to Clark. Closer to full-back for the Dockers. He kicks the ball out, half-back on the southern side. Tracy can't get there. Sparrow flew high. Half-back wing taken there by Schultz, quieted at 8. Outside of the boot to try and get it into the corridor. Oh, clever knock on by Switkowski, Tim. And here's a chance as Amos runs to half-forward for the Dockers.
That was beautifully done. He puts a kick out in front of the arriving Banfield, who will have 2 against him. And that's clever because it's over the line for a throw-in. And Fremantle had virtually 0 chance in the contest. So it was a canny kick. Throw in, 30 around from the left behind post. Grundy now rucking. This is going to be a tough half of football for Luke Jackson, with Darcy out of the game with a hamstring injury. But Jackson steals front position, helped it down, but there's no clean takeaway, and there'll now be a ball up. 25 metres from goal. Lots of stoppages, lots of work for the ruckman, and Luke Jackson is doing it pretty much a lone hand against two giants wearing the red and blue.
Yep. Doctors have it to within 35 metres. The clearance, Angus Brayshaw having a beauty. Kicks about 20 metres. Now Walker of the Dockers has it. He's tackled, he's brought to ground. Both he and Frederick in the long sleeves today, and the identical iridescent orange boots at half forward for the Dockers. Grundy just rips the ball away. Sparrow's on the deck, can't release it. Well done though by Viney. Handball into space. Salem got one high, I thought, got it to Bowie. Angus Brayshaw again involved, a little low daisy cutter, didn't find Gawn. Well done by Alex Pearce, takes it, got it to O'Driscoll, back to Sarong, he's looking for a man middle of the ground. Melbourne have forced him to go wide yet again under pressure. Angus Brayshaw kept it alive, went to Viney, high handball in the finish from Viney, runs out of bounds. On the Robot Building Supply scoreboard, Robot's got it, they deliver. Naarm 5-5-35, Waldyal up 5-3-33. Jim, as the ball's coming in, take us up the river.
Up the river, it's three-quarter time. St Kilda 70 to Hawthorn 56, 14 points there.
Jackson takes the spell. Tracy does the ruck work against Grundy, who wins down to Sparrow. Got a little hand pass on favouring Viney, who edged out O'Meara, but illegally pushed him in the back. Oh, right in front of the members. That is an umpire who is prepared to be objective at all costs. Kick up the flank along the boundary line and inevitably taken over on the bounce, so a throw in.
They're about to throw their camembert out there.
I'll take the fives on. The next contentious one in front of the members goes Melbourne's way.
Saw a few drops of Chardonnay flying through the air. From the throw in, Sarong has it, centering high ball, well taken by Schultz for the Dockers between centre and half forward. Plays on and now stabs it across ground for Frederick to take the mark. 65 from goal. He gives off a hand pass to Clark, whose pass had the right idea. Banfield's won it. He gave to Johnson. A snap towards goal was touched and deflected through for a minor score. 5-5 to 5-4. Naarm leading Waldyal up by a point. Here's Jackie.
It's been pretty busy down here. Tom Sparrow has just gone down into the rooms with the doctors. He fell pretty heavily in a marking contest. They've checked out the vision and decided to take him downstairs for assessment. And on the other side, Sam Switkowski is working the exercise bike right now after copping a corky.
May brings it in. 1 point game. Demons in front. Halfback members side. Grundy won it. Gave to Neil Bullock. Handball to a running Petrarca. Goes inboard, or they can set it up now. Chandler's got it to the forward pocket. Fritsch is there. Didn't quite carry to him and the ball runs out of bounds. Landed between both he and Harms. It was a lovely kick, but the ball out of bounds. Half forward right. City and Melbourne into attack. 40 around from their goal. Demons by a point. Ball tossed in. Gawn and Tracy. Tracy got the fist away. Back of the pack. Petrarca wins it. Handball into space. Salem tries to finesse one through traffic, and he does. What a good kick. It's going to be tough for Pickett, but given his extraordinary effort in the first quarter, Lee, nothing.
He'll kick it over the man on the mark. It'll bounce 3 times and then over the pack in the goal square for a goal. Let's see what happens.
Naarm by a point as Cossie Pickett. For some reason here, you can follow the boundary line along and it can almost get you there. Ball on its way. Oh, it didn't quite carry. Got to the goal line and touched off hands. 5-6-36 the Demons. Dockers 5-4-34. Robot Building Supply scoreboard. Dockers short on the kick into Walker. Walker goes to Sarong. Still in defensive 50.
Jimmy, got any recommendations for Switkowski and that corky?
Keep moving.
Right. Thought you might have a treatment. As the Dockers work the ball around. Johnson's got it. Got out of a tackle. Did well. Gives to Banfield. He's been a live wire. He got around Salem and drills a pass to Fife. Outside 50. Hand pass just intercepted. But it falls Schultz way. He gives to Tracy, who sits it up to the hot spot. All Melbourne there, numbers-wise. But Fremantle battle on and force a ball up, 20 up from their goal at the Punt Road end, and the visitors are not rolling over in this contest on Melbourne's home ground. They would well remember that they won here, a second half victory last year. From the ball up, Johnson's got it, got rid of one, got rid of two, ran into number three, couldn't dispose of the ball. Melbourne's footy, Viney weaves out of traffic like a car out of control, kicks out over 50, off a pack Frederick, coughed it up straight to Spargo. He gives to Rivers, he gives to nobody, stolen by Pearce up in the front half, tackled, hand pass, not legit. No, he was
holding the ball on Rivers before.
A free kick Fremantle's way at the 50, and it'll be taken by O'Driscoll.
O'Driscoll, 55 out, spears one in low and hard, 20 out, into attack the Dockers. Slow to release at that time was Sturt. No hope of getting that one. Stoppage takes place. Punt road in, dead in front of the Dockers goal. Melbourne by 2 points. 12 gone third quarter. Robot Building Supplies scoreboard. Grundy just charged at it, took it from the ruck, tries to handball to the boundary line. Frederick, tackle, great tackle by Salem, and I reckon it's going to toss it in. So this time now it is on the northern side, punt road end, 35 around from the Dockers goal, 36-34, Demons in front. 12 gone third quarter, ball back into play. Grundy, Jackson worked his way to the front, staying down Rivers. High kick almost back to the middle of the ground. Gawn's knocked it out of the back. Walker, though, gets there for the Dockers, picks it up. Little kick. They're going to try and set it up from the back as Ryan, the recipient.
He stutters and delays and then just goes sideways to Clark behind the centre. They chip it around. No, Mark not taken. And by Johnson for Fremantle. Picked up by Chandler. Well tackled by Johnson. He's got a bit of grunt. There'll be a ball up in the centre. Jackie.
Yeah, just another one down here. Jai Amos has just come off the ground. He's copped a corky to his right quad, so he's on the bike as well. A bit of DEP to require down here.
More of that, well done. Aisha's got it from the stoppage. Go to O'Meara, puts it into the 50, and it is marked by Frederick about 47 out. It would have carried to Fife about 3 or 4 metres closer to goal, and every inch counts up there.
Frederick's a better kick for goal than Fife.
He goes back the full measure as though he has only one thing on his mind. Boy, what a game this is. Nahm by 2 points from Walyalup. Frederick from just outside 50. Thumping dispatch of the ball for a mighty goal to restore the lead for the Dockers. 13 and a half gone third term. Freo 6-4-40, Melbourne 5-6-36 on the Robot Building Supply scoreboard.
That's a sight to behold, isn't it? Those long drop punts. He's kicked about the 50-metre line, but went over the fence behind the goal umpire. That was just a lovely finish by Frederick. He really took it on.
Yeah. So the Dockers by 4 points. Great clash here. That margin at three-quarter time at Marvel was or is
14 points, 11-4-70. St Kilda 12th on 7-14-56.
14 the margin up there.
Make that 20 now as Butler puts one through for the Saints.
Jackson and Gawn restart middle of the ground after the Dockers goal. O'Meara clean from the stoppage, takes something off the kick. Amos just ran it a little bit quickly, wasn't edged by May. May was the one who judged it better. Kick to the southern wing. Clark's there. They seem to be running a fraction better now. Handball back into traffic. Centre of the ground, Matt Johnson. Oh, he's put his man under awful pressure. Andrew Brayshaw. Walker has it, lost it. Fair tackle, Melbourne free. And Harms has it in the middle of the ground, Tim, and he's just gone long for Melbourne to the city end.
Drives to within 25 of goal. Pearce in front. Couldn't quite hang on. Grundy's got it. Goals in front of him. Puts it through. Demons back in front. Seesawing struggle at the MCG of epic proportions. 15 gone third term. Melbourne 6-6-42. Fremantle 6-4-40. Grundy, having kicked the goal, comes to the boundary. And the members are up in full support of the former Magpie.
A bit unlucky not to get a free kick there, Alex Pearce. He actually peeled off Grundy to come back and go for the mark and cut one around the ears from Tom McDonald. and who actually then picked the ball up and handballed the Grundy. He was free because Pearce had come off him.
Fine line, isn't it? 50-50, that'd be a free kick or a mark play to Pearce, but the play on call creates the goal. It's
paid in
fine
Perth.
line, these things.
That one will be paid in Perth, I reckon.
Paid in Perth, you think?
Yeah.
Demons by 2 points, 16 into the third quarter. Robot Building Supplies scoreboard. Robot's got it, they deliver. robotbuildingsupplies.com.au. From the restart, Gorn knocks it forward. Petrarca, he was grabbed off the ball, didn't have it. So at least they've moved it inelegantly, it must be said, to centre half forward, the Demons. And we get a stoppage. Just the pace some of these players are hitting the footy at the moment. Tossed up, 60 out. Gorn tries to flip it out the back. Petrarca read it well. Demons are inside 50. Fritsch goes at it, flips it out the back. Bounces for Spargo. Tackles, got to release it. Young's on top of him. Umpire tosses it up. And this is a good chance now for the Demons, Tim. Get the stoppage 30 out.
Yeah, game at a real tipping point here with the pitch rising, and you get the feeling one team just might break through. And at the moment it's Melbourne, having kicked a goal and attacking hard, that is best placed to perhaps gain a little break. Jackson took it out of the air. Van Rooyen got hold of him. Jackson had to release. Fremantle's ball, but going nowhere. Hughes is brought down, and umpire Nichols intervenes again. 40 out in front of Melbourne's goal. City end of the MCG. Jackson from behind Van Rooyen got the tap. Stolen by Viney. He lost it to O'Driscoll, who's taken down, and Matthew Nichols got himself into the holding the ball position and then gave the arms across the chest for a ball up.
That's just a bit of theatre.
He got everyone with that one.
40 metres out. Demons are into attack. Jackson flies high. Well done, Jaeger O'Meara. Got out of the traffic, middle of the ground. Fife's got to wait for somebody to run and receive. Handball was good. Got the ball. O'Meara got the ball back from O'Driscoll. Got it to Matt Johnson in trouble. He stood up in the tackle, released the ball fairly. Got it to O'Meara. Aish is outnumbered here. Brings it to ground. Half-back win to Melbourne. Angus Brayshaw to Bowie. Round the body. Now the Dockers have the numbers on the wing. They had a 2-on-1. Clark gave away a free kick to Spargo after Fife had completed the mark.
It was Schultz who got rid of Bowie after his kick, so it's down the ground.
Spargo to wing half forward. Jackson flies. Ball carries the pack. Pearce at half back. Gives it to Young. Young goes a long way backwards, but they're going to hang on to the football. And O'Driscoll's got the footy. Then he'll go wide. Southern side half back flank where the Dockers have the footy.
Frederick high at half back. They just kick it around one way then the other, and now Ryan receives and goes across ground member side. Cox takes the mark and he stabs it along the wing, hoping for Schultz. Salem arrives, makes the spoil, puts it over the boundary, not far from Jackie Reid, who is covering it from down in that position.
Well, it looks like good news for Nam. Tom Sparrow is back on the bench. They've just told the doctors to wait 5 more minutes before they pop them back out there because of the HIA protocols. He needs to spend the full 15 minutes on the bench, but good news for him.
Thanks, Jackie. Just Fremantle's side of the members' wing. Melbourne by the skin of their teeth. In the ruck, it falls the way of O'Meara. Got a kick into the 50 where possession was taken by, was it May, who was wrapped up? No, it wasn't. It was Hibbard, wrapped up in a strong tackle. And there'll be a ball up. 40 out from Fremantle's goal. Gorn the tap. Switkowski, who's back, saw it coming. Stole it, gave a little hand pass. Didn't come clear. Bowie's got it for Melbourne. He kicks straight to O'Meara, who has Tracy on a lead. He delivers to him. He's taken the mark. 35 out, directly in front of goal. And Fremantle here should grab back the lead.
O'Meara, Tim, having some sort of quarter.
He's a good, strong and old head in the clinches for the Dockers. Tracy lines them up. Beyond the 20-minute mark of the third term, he kicks it beautifully. Never in doubt. And the Dockers are back in front, 7-4-46. The Demons are 6-6-42 on the Robot Building Supply scoreboard.
Just on O'Meara, Jim, can you break down his quarter? Because I think he's been the architect middle of the ground.
Yeah, I agree with you there. He's had the 8 disposals, 4 inside forward 50s and 4 clearances, good buddy, and 200 metres gained. So he is dominating this quarter.
Lee, again, the lead changes. Dockers now lead by 4 points.
Yeah, and goals are hard to come by. I must say, one of the best low-scoring games I've seen for ages because it's really good quality. It's not as if it's just like just a scrap and no one's really good enough to break through the pressure. The pressure's high and therefore the back 50 groups have been pretty good to this stage of the game, but a really free-flowing game despite that.
So Amos and Tracy, the multiples for the Dockers. I think that bounce it will be recalled. Jackson for the Dockers having to do all the work against Grundy and Gawn, and Jackson did well that time. Won it, kicks it in towards attacking 50. Ball on the deck, 30 out. Oh, well done. Ball's come to Switkowski. Right foot snap. Oh, just misses. As Sturt, the work at ground level was excellent. 5 point game, 7-5-47 Dockers, 6-6-42 the Demons. Robot Building Supply scoreboard. Parker willed himself to the ball at halfback and takes it.
Timely, because it's Fremantle's turn to ramp it up. Petrarca drives long, clears the centre line. Pearce edged under the ball cut mark, picked up by McDonald for Melbourne. Door opens for a moment, and he kicks to Pickett, who marks it 30 out. Angle slightly tighter than 45 degrees, but not by much. He's going to kick it around the corner with the right boot and curl it. Well, it won't curl, it goes way across the face. It stayed in play with Fremantle defender O'Driscoll just standing there watching it. He could have marked it, but he thought it was going out on the full. And in the end, he had to lay a tackle to hold off the Demons. There'll be a ball up in the right forward pocket, Melbourne in attack.
Everyone at the G thought the same thing. So, Demons have a deep into attack. It's close to the boundary line. As Sarong was being held without it. Play on the call. They're going to have to kick it quickly. And it still stays in the field of play that time then from Young. The ball goes now out of bounds.
Good contest Walker and Pickett. We know how good Pick can be, and he kicked that freaky goal, but mostly Walker's been able to keep him out of the game. Both really quick.
Ball at attacking 50 for Nam, City End. Grundy the tap. Rove Sarong gave to Andrew Brayshaw, back to O'Driscoll, but his kick misses. Salem's got it now. They want to move quickly as the Dockers have been brought all the way up the ground to within 20 metres. Pack fly, staying down Fridge, gave a handball, went for Grundy, couldn't quite get there. Young the clearance. It's only in the middle of the ground, and it's all Melbourne to set it up again as Hibbert goes wide.
And he gives to Bowie, who drives it deep. Young in front, almost hung on to a juggling mark lying on the ground. Couldn't quite do so. It's over the line for a throw-in. Left forward pocket for Melbourne. 30 around from the sticks. The Demons trail by 5 points. 24 gone third term. Throw in. Jackson against Van Rooyen this time. Picked up for Fremantle by Johnson. He's having a very competitive quarter. Stolen by Langdon for Melbourne. Gives to Neil Bullen. Kick though under pressure is out on the full. Free kick to the Dockers in the back pocket as this game just hangs in the balance. A tremendous contest all day. Cox will take the relieving kick for Freo.
Yeah, Robot Building Supply scoreboard 47-42. Dockers in front. It's coming back again. Back of the pack, Bowie. Although just a little release of pressure now for that defence of Walyalup because the kick went out on the full. Jim?
Yeah, you probably see Freo start to knock the footy around a little bit as we start to close out the quarter.
They're going to have to knock it around for a while. There's still 5 minutes remaining. The kick from Young. To the wing it goes. Grundy had a chance. Front of the pack. Taken by Bowie. Hands to Petrarca. Great handball through traffic. Finds Langdon. Straightens himself up from 65. Long kick. I fancy McDonald. It's carried the pack. It stays alive. Van Rooyen. Handball back to Fridge. He's got to wait. Step inside. Kick on the outside of the left boot as he was heading to his right side. Just missed. 6-7, 43 Nam. Trail Walyalup 7-5, 47. Dockers by 4 points. Robot Building Supply scoreboard. They've got it. They deliver robotbuildingsupplies.com.au. Young, the Dockers, after that point to bring it back into play.
He runs out towards the member's pocket, kicks long out over half back. No one able to mark it. Ground ball. O'Meara was in there. And Fremantle eventually prevail, and it's driven forward for them by O'Driscoll off the Tracy hand pass. Bouncing ball to the 50. Lever for Melbourne in the way. Gave to Salem. He gave to Rivers, who kicks it out on the full. He was looking to spear it up the line to Angus Brayshaw, but he got it wrong. It's a free kick to Aish for the Dockers. He kicks to their Brayshaw. Andrew runs inside and then drives it to within 20 of goal. Grundy sees it coming, couldn't hang on to the mark. Ground level near the boundary and seen over by Switkowski. There will be a throw in. The Dockers are attacking. A goal, I think, would probably give them their biggest lead of the day. They're 4 points up, 26 and a half gone.
Still enough time, more than enough time for a goal or two to both teams. Grundy took it from the ruck. Oh, him a fresh air shot. Jackson for the Dockers. Goals!
Hercules.
So Jackson, rucking, roving, doing everything. Snaps a goal at the 27-minute mark for Walyalup. And this is some effort to take them to a 10-point margin as after Grundy had won it. And then, Jim, it was just second efforts all round.
It was unbelievable, the agility from the big fella, and then the celebration of the match. And I just saw Cozzy Pickett walk past. He even gave Cozzy Pickett, his old mate, a pat on the backside as he went past. But he just...
He's taking me back, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Tone. Yeah. I can remember back in the early 80s, late 70s when Peter Moore, Darcy's father, I reckon he's just about the best ground level ruckman since Darcy Moore.
Yeah, he's got more presence though, I reckon,
he's
Jack's
amazing.
physical presence.
His ground, like as Peter Bell said about a month ago, his ground level works fantastic.
Oh, and he's won it out of the middle again and bombed it into the 50 for the Dockers. Banfield in front. Spoil made by McVie and made well because it found Langdon, a kick towards the wing. Chandler takes the mark for Melbourne. He wants to go quickly and does, and neatly finds Viney forward of the centre line. 28 gone, third term. Viney long into a scoring position, gone in the midst of it. Cox saw the danger, flew high, made the spoil. Spargo's got it for Melbourne. O'Meara brings him down. Which way's he paid it?
It's got to be Melbourne free.
Yeah.
For in the slings,
sling tackle, yeah.
Down, gee.
See, look, I don't know what O'Meara is supposed to do. It's in the forward, 30 metres there for Melbourne. Spargo's going to keep fighting the tackle.
Yep. What a time, what a place.
Yeah, he pinned one arm, unfortunately. As soon as he pinned one arm, I guess the duty of care is really extreme, and he ended up head first into the turf.
Spargo's going that way with his momentum.
Yeah.
Fortunate for Melbourne. Dockers had gained the momentum in the game. Poor kick from Spargo.
The footy guys.
Just about fell short. It missed. It's a minor score. And Walyalup lead by 9 points. 8-5-53. Naarm 6-8, 44-29 gone.
Footy guide's got it right.
You enjoying this one, Jim?
Yeah.
It's a beauty.
It's the best one all day.
Young. Cox is the target at half-back and finds him. That's from about 50 metres away. 2.5 minutes to three-quarter time.
I think it's a long way ahead, Jimmy, for the Boats. Who's the best defender on the ground? Just think about it for a minute.
Yes.
He's kicked. Jackson, Gorn, go at it. Ball on the wing. Sparrow, unable to release. Ball to be tossed up. He's a Melbourne free, I reckon, Hedge. If there's any controversy, this will be it. As O'Meara knocks it through. Angus Brayshaw had it. He's knocked out of bounds fairly by brother Andrew.
Well, I'll give you three.
Okay.
Young.
Yep.
And Cox from Freo, and I think Christian Salem
down the other end.
Who's been playing a lot on Schultz, who's dangerous as well.
30 minutes gone. Robot Building Supplies scoreboard third quarter. 53-44, Tim. The Dockers by 9.
Gone the better of it against Jackson here, but it'll be a Fremantle ball. Andrew Brayshaw got rid of it out of a tackle to Aish. Swinging left footer is a lovely kick. Banfield can't quite hang on. He then scooped it to Fife. Now it comes to Sarong, who drives a goal and puts it through. And on the brink of three-quarter time, the Dockers lead by 15 points. 9-5-59. The Demons 6-8-44.
Wow, that little knock-on. Was it a knock-on or a scoop? This is what the Melbourne fans... No, I think it was probably a knock-on.
Yeah, knock-on.
Or maybe half knock-on, half scoop. Jim, I don't know. That's the Melbourne supporters deciding it was a scoop.
Let's go to the rugby league bunker for a knock-on there.
I tell you what they are, though, Fremantle. I mean, they're back to the kind of form they were last year when they finished up in the top six. Where were they at the end of the home and away season? But pretty high up. They're back in that level.
Yeah, this quarter in particular, we mentioned at half-time, they're getting out from the contest a lot better.
Yeah.
Here we go, 15 points. The boy from the college does it again. The grammar. Sorry, thank you, Bobby. Viney out of the middle, kicks to half forward. Well done that time. Hughes reacts first. Takes the defensive mark.
From North Shore, not Newtown.
Thank you very much. Yes, it goes wide to half back. H has it. 2 minds. Do I go long? I'm going to have to. And hopefully someone can take a grab out there for us. Coming through that time was a Lever. Can't get there. Sturt does through traffic. Sarong, Frederick, Andrew Brayshaw. All going backwards, controlling the ball to Aish. Andrew Brayshaw to sidestep one. They're losing ground, but another handball to Aish. They've gone backwards. Now, did that bounce before it got to Ryan? Umpire said it did not. Crosses to Walker. Walker can see O'Driscoll 40 up the ground for the Dockers. They've done it very, very well. Still a minute to play, but just soaked up a bit of time there. It is the Dockers by 15 points, close to three-quarter time. Jim, up the river at Marvel.
It's close. 8 points in it. St Kilda 12-6-78. Hawthorn 9-16-70. 5 minutes to go.
Kick clears the wing, and in the midst of a pack, Big Maxi stands his ground, juggles it 4 or 5 times and then completes the mark. Hand pass to McVie, who puts Melbourne into attack, but Freo have a wall up and the mark is taken comfortably by Hughes. He dabs a little precariously, but Sarong, the boy from the grammar, takes the mark. He goes back to Walker at half-back. He switches play southern side, and Ryan marks it for Freo, who look as though they will hold this lead until the last change in the game. They're 15 points to the good. This time last year, when they upset the Melbourne Apple Cart at the MCG, the third quarter was the big winner for them, and so it may have been again today. Fremantle at 9-5-59. Melbourne are 6-8-44 in that third term. The visitors from Walyalup kicked 5 goals 2, and the Naarm Demons managed just 2 goals 3. It's the Dockers by 15 at the last change.
Yeah, third quarter brought to you by Robot Building Supplies. Robot's got it and they deliver. robotbuildingsupplies.com.au. Amos and Tracy, the multiples there for the Dockers, all singles for the Demons. Massive final quarter coming up right throughout Australia through 6PR in Perth, 5AA in Adelaide and Relays. All thanks to McDonald's. You are listening to 3AW Football.
This is 5AA Football. Mum and I want to chat about your performance.
Yeah?
You're averaging just 1.7 loads of washing a month and a cleaning differential of -10.
We need more bin disposals.
Let's see some improvement, or we'll hit you where it hurts.
The pocket.
A simple do your chores would have done it, but okay.
Get 12 months of KO Basic with a new Telstra home internet plan. It could change your life. For Telstra personal customers taking up a new home internet service, roll on to KO Basic standard month-to-month fees after offer unless you change or cancel. Must sign up via Telstra.
When you do business with Duttons, you're dealing with a local. And at Murray Bridge, we're doing something huge. The new showroom and service centre is opening Saturday, June 3, and it'll be full of the best range from Mitsubishi, Hyundai and Ram. Of course, there'll be lots of open day specials, giveaways and a Barbie lunch. See you at the new Duttons Mitsubishi, Hyundai and Ram showrooms in Murray Bridge. Open from June 3.
Duttons.
Easy to do business with.
AutoCam.
So this is the air filter out of your car.
Real-time video sent direct to you from your Automasters technician.
It's not actually the wheel bearing. What it is, the handbrake.
AutoCam. Real-time reporting with instant SMS approval. Call 1300 Automasters.
G'day everyone, Cornsey here. Now, I know a great team when I see one, and the South Australian hydraulic team I rate the highest is BL Shipway. I've known them for a long time. David Shipway's one of the best blokes you'll ever meet. BL Shipway, they've been looking after your hydraulic and pneumatic needs since 1953 with brands like Ryco, Rexroth, Enerpac, Hydac, Oilpath, EasyFit and many more. And if you can't get to them, they'll send a Ryco 24/7 van to you anytime, anywhere. blshipway.com.au, a South Australian team you can count on.
The South Australian Government is rushing to make new laws to stop peaceful protests. You could be hit with a $50,000 fine or even go to prison just for exercising your rights. So much of what makes our state great has been won by people standing up for what's right. Parliament is about to vote on these new laws. Get in touch with your local MP now. Ask them to stand up for our democracy and say no to the anti-protest laws. Authorised by the South Australian Council for Social Service Adelaide.
Now's the time to live forever, or is it? Australia's first cryonic freezing facility plans to bring people back from the dead. We speak to the pioneers behind this truly wild venture, only in the Weekend Australian today.
Tyre Power's Mega May sale gives you the power to save on a mega range of Falcon tyres. Enjoy mega savings on a great range of all-terrain Falcon tyres for your SUV or four-wheel drive. Buy 3 and get 1 free. Buy 3 and get 1 free on selected Falcon tyres right now at Tyre Power. Get the power of a safer drive during Tyre Power's Mega May sale. Visit tyrepower.com.au or call 13 21 91 for your local independent owner.
One of Australia's greatest sporting rivalries returns to Adelaide.
The Ampol State of Origin kicks off right here in Adelaide this Wednesday at Adelaide Oval when the New South Wales Blues take on the Queensland Maroons.
Catch us live from right outside at 4 p.m, bringing you all the latest on the big game.
It's going to be one for the ages. There'll be a bit of biffos. Cannot wait to see you there.
It's not too late to join us. Get your State of Origin tickets today. NRL.com/tickets.
5AA's coverage of the 2023 AFL Premiership season.
Who drives a goal and puts it through? And on the brink of three-quarter time, the Dockers lead by 15 points.
It's all set up for a brilliant final quarter. All thanks to Macca's, the McSpicy range out and about. Now use your My Macca's app. 59-44. Let's set things up. First to you, Jackie, for deep heat. The injuries, take us through both sides.
Just before she does, Jacob Kuczynski's lining up to put Hawthorn in front.
With 90 seconds to go.
Jackie, please.
And he's done it.
He certainly has. Well, just for Nam at the minute, they have made their sub, but the interchange steward's being a little bit coy with the card and not revealing who has been subbed out. So James Jordan will enter the game in this quarter, and I will chase that up. For Walyalup, Sean Darcy was subbed with that right hamstring injury, replaced by Sam Sturt. Jai Amos has a corked right quad that he's working his way through, as does Sam Switkowski, who's also battling through a corky. I can see at the minute Cade Chandler is taking the jacket, so it looks like he's the one who will be subbed out. James Jordan into the game.
All right, Jim, what happened with that kick up at the Marvel?
Kaczynski nailed it from 45 metres out, and they are 4 points up with 84 seconds on the clock. Hawthorn 11-16-82, St Kilda 12-6-78.
So make of this what you will, because it is 15-point lead to the Dockers, Lee, and seemingly at least 1 quarter remaining. The loss of Darcy hasn't impacted them.
No, powerful quarter. No, he's kept going, Jackson. He's been able to be competitive in the ruck and gives you that extra sort of ground level midfielder. So just at the moment, that's probably advantaging Fremantle rather than being a negative, if you can see out the game.
Tyre Power bring you the final quarter. To the City and the Dockers. Jackson tries to flip it down to Fife, middle of the ground. Fife gets there. Somehow threw it out, I thought.
Yep.
Umpire agrees. Illegal disposal. Sparrow, middle of the ground. Straight up the guts. To the punt road end. Melbourne into attack. Pack of players collapse at the feet of everyone coming through Harms. Had it, lost it. Pushed back to centre, half forward. It's almost back to the middle of the ground. Picked up by Sarong. Great strength through the lower part of the body. withstood the tackle, handball away, but Salem was there. Back of the pack, Pearce takes a nice defensive mark as the Melbourne forwards, Tim, are looking for a bit of pushing. Nothing doing. Free kick. Oh, sorry, the mark is taken to Pearce. Tyre Power scoreboard, minute gone, final quarter. Has the Dockers 15 points in front.
Kick to Ryan, kick to Cox, little half volley. He's in a bit of bother. He gets out of it, scrambles a kick towards the wing, which hits the ground untouched. Melbourne have numbers there. Petrarca been pretty well contained today, and he is here. Sarong won it for Freo. His hand pass forward was intercepted by Rivers, who was caught and takes the ball over the boundary for a throw in.
Good, buddy. It's over there, up the road. Hawthorn's kicked another one. Luke Bruce, the sealer. Hawthorn 12-16-88. St Kilda 12-6-78 with 15 seconds to go. They're about 20 points down partway through the last quarter. Here the Hawks.
Amazing. Fancy a bloke named Kajitsky kicking straight against St Kilda.
I thought they were tanking, weren't they, the Hawks? Someone was trying to say.
Throw in. Gawn gets the tap down to Petrarca for Melbourne. Got a kick out of a tackle. Harms coming down the ground with it, but Clark with a really good turn of speed wins the ball. Kicks dangerously into the corridor. Fortunately for Freo, it bounced off Neil Bullen's chest into the hands of Ethan Hughes, who's tackled. There'll be a ball up centre half forward for the Demons, who have started the quarter well.
Tyre Power scoreboard by 3. Get one free. Kumo selected tyres at Tyre Power. Kick goes forward. Melbourne now inside 50. It's attacking. It's shallow. And Lux of Fortune as the Sparrow kick just flew high and almost up the side of the boot. Fell into the right hands. Lee as Bailey Fritsch has got it 48 out.
Yeah, he's probably the play at one. He's going to have to kick the ball 50 metres, but he's a good reliable converter.
You wonder how much Ryan didn't want to stretch out. Jack Reed down the boundary has been reporting Ryan's had that hamstring issue all day.
So Fritsch, they trail by 15 points at the moment. Nam to the punt road end. Wonderful forward he's become. Always hits that so sweetly. Under pressure, no problems. Becomes Melbourne's first multiple goal scorer. 7-8-50. The Demons trailing the Dockers 9-5-59. 9-point margin. Minute in 2, or make that 3 minutes, I should say, into the final quarter. For Tyre Power, get your free 5-minute tyre safety check at Tyre Power.
Yeah, when the kick came out, Ryan always loves to throw out a bit of a leg rope on his direct opponent and back himself, to judge the ball in the air. But because it came out a little bit on an angle, he didn't look like he really wanted to stretch out and make the spoil on Fritsch there. So he just conceded, but probably had to because of that hamstring.
Don't think this has ever been game off, Tone, but
no, it hasn't.
It's definitely game on right now.
Absolutely.
9-point margin. Members throwing themselves behind the Demons, and Gawn takes it out of the air and bombs it into half forward. Pickett did very well to make a spoil, keep the contest alive. Picked up by Hughes, he's gang tackled. Chorus of ball. They'll get a ball up, 25 out in front of the Demons' goals. Melbourne have started this last quarter with full aggression. Ball up. It falls to nobody in particular. Petrarca's got it. Clever little kick. Fritsch couldn't quite hang on to a mark. Paddled by O'Driscoll. Stolen though for Melbourne by Harms. And up and under. Falls to Neil Bullen. Dinky little left footer. Probably not the right idea. Pearce has got it for Freo and relieves the pressure with a long ball over 50.
Yeah, ball at half back. Switkowski gets there first. Gave the ball to O'Driscoll. Back to Switkowski. Handball, neat pickup. Excellent pickup that time from Schultz of the Dockers. They go forward. Frederick Marks plays on. Vacant goal square. Kick off the side will allow Angus Brayshaw. Get back there. Give it to Gawn at half back. Handball over the top. Spargo came to get it. Gave it off to Rivers. 9 points the Dockers lead by. Good kick, Van Rooyen on the southern wing has it. And for Melbourne, Harms is the only chance here. He's outnumbered. He makes a good fight of it. The cavalry's arrived in Spargo and they get a stoppage lead, which is exactly what Melbourne wanted. 5 gone, final quarter. Wallulap 59, Nam 50.
Yeah, Frederick had the chance, but he went onto his left foot and miskicked it, and then Melbourne rebounded. Otherwise, Fremantle win for another goal.
Gawn and Jackson. Jackson with natural leap. Got it to Fremantle's Brayshaw. He gave to Sarong. A running left footer up towards half forward. They're a chance here. Breakaway on, but Sturt's brought down down. He helps it onto Tracy, who swings it across the goal face, and Schultz, running as though for his life, has taken a mark above the chalk in the right forward pocket, only about 15 metres out.
Great.
Oh, yeah, the work rate to get there. I think he probably started on the same plane or the same line as the kicker. He's ran a good 35 metres and didn't take his eyes off it the whole entire way.
And he used the left foot round the corner. He does, and he puts it across the goal face for a minor score. It is 9-6-60 Walyalup. 7-8-50 Narm. Freo lead by 10.6 minutes in.
Yeah, tyre power scoreboard. May short on the kick in. Bowie. Does it go wide? No, it remains in the corridor to Rivers. To the southern side they go now. Langdon, half back. He goes up the boundary line. Effective it is too. Sparrow marks. Langdon, great runner. Ran to receive from 35. Round the body he goes. Pickett the only hope. Ryan came through. Kicked it as far as he could. Contest on the wing. Neither play can get there. Amos is there. Sparrow's there. They've got the extra out there. Melbourne as lever. The handball. Got it to Langdon. 20 up the ground. Pickett's got the footy. They trail by 10 points, the Demons, as Pickett waits for everyone to arrive. And Tim Hill kick it beyond centre half forward for the Demons.
It'll land inside the 50. No one can mark. Off the pack, Ryan has it. Tried to bang it long, but he got under it. And it didn't go very long. Fife off the pack. Has it for Fremantle. Gave to Aish. Sweeps a hand pass to Sturt. Bit of a fumble at bootlace level. Mown down by Lever. And there'll be a ball up Melbourne's side of the southern wing. Just 16 goals kicked in the game. Melbourne need at least a couple to win the match. Early in the last quarter, it's knocked Melbourne's way by Gawn, but it's well covered by Clark, who's been pretty good for the Dockers. He's taken down, and there'll be a ball up high on Melbourne's right half forward flank.
The ability to have quick reaction, make quick decisions, good decisions under the pressure and now the fatigue of the game.
So, tossed up, Melbourne. Gawn gets it. Langdon round the body. Oh, chance there for Spargo. Hughes, good shepherd, just allows Ace to come in. Handball that time from Johnson, turned over. They've got a chance now through Petrarca. Love the kick going forward. Harm's got in the way of Van Rooyen. Didn't complete the mark. And they get a stoppage, Jim. 20 out in front of the Demon goal at the punt road end. They trail by 10 points.
Oh, it was a great kick by Petrarca. It was going to land in Van Rooyen's lap. Harms spoiled his own teammate.
It was going to hit the boy on the chest, Toners, from the ball up. Spargo had it in the pocket, couldn't dispose. Aish did well, weaved, swung his kick out over the 50. Banfield came crashing in, third man in line. Fell off hands to the boundary, throw in, right forward flank for Melbourne, outside the 50, so a kick and a bit from goal.
Earlier this afternoon, Hawthorn with the upset, 10-point winners, 88-78.
Tracy rucking, giving Jackson the chop out, beaten by Gawn, took it clean out of the air, gave to Petrarca, who gives to Spargo, inside 50, kicks quickly at goal off the hands of the Fremantle defence. It's a minor score. Melbourne 7-9-51. Fremantle 9-6, 69 minutes into the last.
Melbourne doing all the attacking for most of the final term. 9 points is the deficit, though, for the Demons. Dockers deserving the lead. Ryan, he's gone long, up the middle of the ground. Fife, can he get to the contest? Offhand, picked up nicely that time then by Schultz. Got it to Amos. He's in the middle of the ground. He's got no one to kick it to. So he bounces, runs away from Gawn, waits to half forward. The handball goes back to H from Amos, and he'll just go bang from 60 metres. Top of the square. Oh! What a goal, Schultz! What a goal, Schultz! Two magnificent and spectacular efforts that time from Lockie Schultz, the mark and the goal running flight of the ball. And the margin in favour of Walyalup goes to 15. 10-6-66 to 7-9-51. All on the tyre power scoreboard. Your trusted tyre experts. Jim.
Yes.
Lee. How good
He only had one touch in the first half, Lockie Schultz, but he just keeps battling away, and he gets involved in other ways with tackles and forward pressure, and especially in this last quarter, he's now up to 8 touches and a goal. He's had 7 tackles.
Yeah, but Jay Amos kicked. It was that decision making under pressure. He knew that he was about 60 metres out, and if he just kicked the ball, it would have been marked by, I think, May, who was dropping back. But he took the punt, held on to it, and then eventually he was able to give it off, get it back.
Didn't he show discipline and maturity? It was fantastic. From the ball up, Melbourne are going to win the footy. Viney swings it into centre half forward. No one can mark. Oh, Pearce attacked it bravely and won it. Put a hand pass in front of Johnson, who socketed any old way towards the middle. Melbourne's footy though. Sparrow, hand pass to McDonald. Fumbled, got it back. Now Freo are back in the hunt though. Picked up by Frederick Walker. Free kick against him. Viney plays on, bangs long, 2 Dockers up against each other. Van Rooyen, the crumb, kicks a goal. And the Demons are still alive. Margin back to 9. Freo 10-6-66. Melbourne 8-9-57. A rare error in the Fremantle defensive network.
That's a poetic justice, wasn't it? Because Van Rooyen was going to take the mark 20 metres out, and then he got spoiled by Harms. Well, the 2 Dockers defenders, who was Cox and Hughes and Ryan. Anyway, they flew for the same ball, coming to Van Rooyen. Yeah, poetic justice. He was the one who made up for that error.
Oh, Hughes just had to protect Ryan. You protect your player coming back, marking the footy. Makes it for a good game, doesn't it? Yeah. Not a bad one.
Dockers by 9 points, 12 into the final quarter. For Tyre Power, get the power of Australia's biggest independent tyre retailers. Play restarts, middle of the ground. Melbourne get the clearance. Grundy just threw it onto the boot. Pickett's there, recovers first in front of Walker. Passes a ripper. And Sparrow has taken it 40 out. Punt road end, dead in front.
Yeah, Pickett, I think, was looking for Spargo, but well done by Sparrow. He was in the centre bounce directly against Caleb Sarong and just made him work the other way. Gave him something to think about and got rewarded.
Dead in front, 40 out. Demons trail by 9 before the kick. Get you in a moment, Jackie. 13 minutes gone, final quarter. Sparrow for Melbourne. 40 out. Ball's on its way. Eagles! Consecutive to Melbourne. And the Demons go to 9-9-63. They trail the Dockers 10-6-66. Jackie Reid on the boundary line for Deep Heat.
It's quietening down here, but Christian Salem's just come off the ground to get a cut in his leg patched up, so nothing too much to worry about for him. And Luke Ryan has taken a seat as well. We've noted all game that he has been nursing a bit of a tight right hamstring, so he's working his way through that, but it has limited him today.
There you go.
Epic struggle at the MCG. Crowd fully engaged. Not a huge crowd. You wouldn't expect it. Melbourne and Fremantle. But they are seeing a ripping footy contest. Margin back to 3 after the Dockers, twice led by 15. Grundy gets the tap. Viney almost had it. Fife knocked it away from him. He couldn't break with the ball. Switkowski did. He gave to Johnson. Puts the pass out in front of the leading Frederick. He's got it near the boundary. Tried to finesse his way around McVie. McVie too good for him. Got it. Gave a little hand pass, hoping for Petrarca. Bundled over the boundary line by Brayshaw. Ball kept alive by the Dockers, but won back by Melbourne for a moment. Brayshaw Senior, stolen by Brayshaw Junior. Picked up by Hibbert for Melbourne. Thumps it back towards the wing. It's a mongrel. Not a lot of depth. Pearce picks up for Freo. Hand passed into a Melbourne player's head. Fife arrives, makes a tackle. Tried to prize the ball loose. Viney over it for Melbourne. Got it onto his boot. That ricocheted off an opponent's shin. Went 20 metres the other way. Frederick's got it. Swings a kick. There's nobody there for Fremantle unless it bounces to Schultz's advantage. He's got 3 against him. Demons almost coughed it up, but they get out of trouble. Langdon to Neil Bullen. Long ball towards the wing.
Yeah, contest 1-on-1 out there. McDonald is one of them. It is The Dockers by 3 points. No clean possession. 2.5 minutes of the most exciting nothing ever to happen in AFL football then, as it just bobbed around from one to the other. Young receives it. High risk kick. It's going to come off. Melbourne player committed. Missed it. O'Driscoll of the Dockers picks it up. Long toward full forward. Amos flies. Staying down Frederick. Who can pick it up? Amos snaps and goals. Back to 9 points. Jai Amos has his third. Tyre Power scoreboard 11,672. Walyalup Nam is 9,963. Sir Doug Nichols round. What an absolute beauty this one is, Lee Matthews.
But what they have done, Fremantle, I mean, the defence of both sides have been on top, but certainly Melbourne's defence hasn't been over to intercept mark. I mean, Mays took a couple, Lever hasn't really been involved in the game, so they've brought the ball to ground consistently. They brought the ball to ground then, and Amos, I think he brought it to ground, and then he got the sort of the couple of touches then into his hands, and he kicked the goal.
He just refused to give up on that ball. That looked like Lever's intercept mark all the way, but just put enough pressure on to get the ball down and kept his feet.
Hasn't he made an impression in this last quarter? And he kicked a couple of goals earlier. Has 11 in his last 4 games, including this one that isn't complete. From the ball up, Jackson, just bounced thickly for him. Crowd wanting ball, they won't get it. He was trying to release and hadn't had prior. The umpire comes in and will ball it up. Melbourne having gained about 15 metres out of the middle in the exchange. Gawn and Jackson. Gawn the tap down to Viney. Immediately tackled. Can't dispose. 3 of them have him. It comes loose now. It's socked Melbourne's way by Jordan, their sub, who's in the fray. Picked up by Neil Bullen in the 50. But off his boot, stolen by Aish. High ball. Switkowski. Fine mark in midfield for the Dockers. Crowd reckon he didn't hold it. I thought he did. Umpire thought he did. That'll do me. Kick sideways out towards the wing, and O'Driscoll takes the mark.
To the city in they go. Everyone catches the breath. 18 gone. Final quarter for Tyre Power. The Dockers by 9 points as Cox. Every player goes back to Hughes. Every player in the half, the attacking half of the Dockers at the moment, as Pearce goes slowly. Picked up by Clark. Now he's going to have to go long. There's no one there. And he sort of mongrels it. It's going to come off front of the pack. Shields didn't bother to pick it up. Just hacked it off the ground. Ball's going. May can't get there. Trying to pick it up. It was Sturt lost it. It should be a Melbourne free. Off the deck, one behind. He had a chance. Sturt lost it in a tackle. Play on the call. Point to Switkowski. 73 Walyalup, 63 Nam. As Salem to bring it back in. 18 minutes gone. Ton of time still remains as Salem surveys. Not much on. Up the middle of the ground he goes.
And clears the 50 by 15 or 20 metres. No one able to mark. Melbourne have the crummers. Petrarca, hand pass to Angus Brayshaw. Has a bounce, treads water out near the boundary. Swings it to a one-on-one in the front half. And they're going to get a free kick, the Demons. Fritsch was groped, and he will take it against Hughes. Kick to Pickett, out in front, takes a mark. 40 out, left forward pocket, tight angle. He kicked an incredible goal, the first of the day, in the opening minute or two, and now, with starting to fade, and the last quarter, 19 minutes old, he lines up to put the Demons within 4 points. It's kickable, 45-degree angle, 40-metre kick, comes in and it is headed right. It clears the big man, minor score, and the margin still a kick and a bit Fremantle's way, 11-7-73 to 9-10-64.
Yeah, all for Tyre Power. Is Young to bring it back in. And can't go short when short is. Angus Brayshaw able to get there, knock it away. Spargo had it, ball out of bounds, off hands between wing and half forward on the Northern All Members side. Punt road end, the end that Melbourne goes to. Every bit of a kick and a half, nearly 2 kicks from goal. Jackson, who basically has had to do it against Gawn and Grundy, got the tap away. Front of the pack. O'Meara's handball missed. Petrarca picked it up. Gave to Max Gord. Kick to the top of the square. Melbourne deep into attack. Oh, coming through. And beautifully done. What a player he is, Jimmy. As Hayden Young takes it, can go short to Cox.
Yeah, absolute high quality player, and he will be for quite some time. Can intercept the footy, and we know he's a magic kick.
So confident there too to go for the mark. Cox's kick is out over the 50. Gorn in the aerial contest couldn't mark. Johnson crumbed for the Dockers. Gave to O'Meara. Banged it forward. Couple of demons. Both thought the other was going. Dockers might escape. Banfield's got it. He's tackled by Neil Bullen. Little hand pass. No, Neil Bullen wins it now. He gives a hand pass to Fritsch. Up beyond the centre. Steering ball towards Gorn, but Jackson in front backed himself and took the mark. High at half back for the Dockers. He has been nothing short of heroic. He goes sideways and Walker marks it for Fremantle.
Yeah, 9 points as the Dockers lead 22 into the final quarter. 73-64. Already an upset with Hawthorn winning by 10 points. To the wing it goes. Front of the pack, Switkowski gets it to O'Meara. Normally good, a little indecisive though that kick. He went high contact on Hibbert. He's ducked, he's hanged onto the football. He's hanged onto the football. I'm sorry.
It's that sort of game, Tone.
It is that sort of game. So we get a stoppage right on attacking 50. City and Dockers into attack. O'Meara knocks it toward the boundary line. Sarong the target. Can't get there. Win to Melbourne at half-back. Taken there by Viney. Frederick put up the arms. Somehow the ball just landed in them. They're still at 50. Play on. Matt Johnson of the Dockers floats the ball toward full forward. Getting back though, Lever. He's got to go to Spargo, who now, Tim, has got about 20 metres to work in. And the target, he's going to go inside. Jordan, the sub's got it for the Demons.
Yeah, good call and good kick. He kicks out in front of Pickett. Coming in to meet him though is the bigger Hughes, who went to ground over the ball. Pickett tackled him. It was released by Hughes. Legally, the umpire says Fritsch has got it. 65 out. He's got Van Rooyen loose and drills the pass between his eyes. Grundy up in the goal square alone, but Van Rooyen hasn't necessarily made the wrong decision. He was going to have to do it in a hurry if he went for him, and sometimes they come unstuck. As it is, he has a set shot from straight in front. The man on the mark just that 42 metres out. And Van Rooyen, who's become a hero to Melbourne fans in his first half season, comes in, has one for the day earlier in this last quarter, and he still has one as it just faded right. Minor score, and the Dockers lead by 8 points. 11-7-73 to 9-11-65. 23 minutes gone.
Type Power scoreboard. Young, whose wonderful kicking hasn't let him down, wants this one to stick. Goes long. Pearce works to the front. Made from the side. Comes in. And with the double Palmer then, knocks it forward. Jim about 30 metres. Back inside attacking 50. About 45 around Punt Road end. Melbourne into attack.
That's where you're hoping, isn't it, with a few minutes to go, that you got your best 18 on the field.
Yep.
Now to play out the game. You can't really going to be able to execute too many interchanges now in this last minute or two.
Tossed in. Gorn. Jackson. Maybe Jackson. Outside attacking 50. Viney had it. Ran into a brick wall in Andrew Brayshaw. We get another stoppage. This time, though, Jim, it's about 60 around from Melbourne's goal. Northern side to the Punt Road end.
Every stoppage Freo can get, they can get set up well behind the footy.
Tossing Gorn. Decisive slap inside. Petrarca. High kick. Tim to the top of the square.
And Pickett has marked it. It favoured him. It cleared the defence. He's taken it at the back, facing the boundary line as he did. Now he's going to run out and try and curl this one home with the left boot. He pauses, he comes out, he kicks, a goal! The Demons are still there. 24 and a half minutes into the last quarter. They draw to within 2 points. Walyalup 11-7-73. Naarm 10-11-71. The Dockers by 2 points.
Well, you think stoppages that allow Freo to get lots of numbers behind the footy, but they were able to keep it even numbers ahead of the football, Melbourne there, and Pickett just read the flight a lot quicker than Walker there when it just kept carrying out the back.
As we saw with North Melbourne last week, game lead preservation is about the last 60 seconds of the game. Any longer than that, you're going to suffer from trying to go into your shell now, and getting your best squad in the middle here. So we've got Jackson, obviously, you've got Brayshaw, you've got Fife, you've got O'Meara. So that's close enough to their best midfield group for the Dockers, and the same for Melbourne.
Dockers by 2 point play restart. Andrew Brayshaw of the Dockers won it. Gave to O'Meara. Up the middle of the ground he goes beyond centre half forward. A lot of holding taking place. Off hands. Chance there for Switkowski. Can't get there. Schultz knocked at the 5. Broke a tackle. Broke a second. Got the handball away. Went back to O'Meara. 55 out. Aisha's got the football. Floated toward full forward. Ball spills front of the pack. Bowie defensively. Kept the head. Nice handball. Good bounce. Found Salem. 50-metre kick to half back. Fritz flew high. At the back. Ryan of the Dockers took it. Gave to Andrew Brayshaw. The pass is on and it's a Docker mark. And it's going to suit Banfield, who is a left footer. He's in forward pocket right, 30 metres out. On a
lever's down and out by the look of it.
Yeah.
Leg injury by the look of it. He's not. I don't think it's a concussion, but he's taken a long time to get up.
He went back pretty hard in that last contest.
Banfield will run around, open it up. We're at the 27-minute mark. Dockers before the Banfield kick lead by 2. They now lead by 8 with a goal to Banfield. His second. And while you're up 12-7-79 to Nam 10-11-71. I suspect there'll probably be better games from a technical point of view. But what a fabulous struggle this has been, Lee and Jimmy.
It's about three-phase footy. How good are you when the ball needs to be won in the contest? How good are you when the opposition got it? How good are you when you've got the ball? And it's been a fantastic game of footy, I reckon, Tone, because those 3 phases of the game have been executed pretty well by both teams, which makes it an incredibly good contest.
So Banfield, and I agree with all that, like Banfield got all the space because he was the one who actually came from behind Lever and crunched him in the contest, and then realised Lever is still down on the ground. He just bobbed back up in the forward pocket, and we do love the bobber-uppers here on 3AW.
Yeah. Melbourne need 2 goals. Tyre Power scoreboard, the Dockers by 8 points. Get your free 5-minute tyre safety check at Tyre Power. There's a delay here.
Melbourne just forward of the ball in the 6-6-6 formation and pulled 5 of their players right back to the full forward line to try and get some space to come through the middle.
Still time, but Melbourne will have to do a lot right. Grundy gives them a good start. Took it out of the air, but his kick falls short, and Young read the drop. Took the mark for Fremantle. Has a man loose. Aish, he's become a good player. He takes the mark between centre and southern wing for Fremantle, and running out of defence to receive for him is Jordan Clark. They're a real team, Fremantle. They make good decisions. They play for each other, and they are getting better. Clark kicks in towards the half-forward flank. Southern side, big pack. Grundy stands tall, takes the mark for the Demons, but the seconds tick away. A 50-metre penalty.
That's a bad...
Jackson, the man on the mark. Oh, he might have blotted his copybook after just a perfect performance. Grundy is going to play on, run forward, drive to full forward, Cox from behind, thumping spoil. Clark roves it for the Dockers, gave to Young, tackled, the kick fell short, and Angus Brayshaw marks it 40 metres out, directly in front. Melbourne need 2 goals, and they have barely enough time, and the clock, of course, keeps ticking as Brayshaw goes back to prepare himself for this shot.
Fantastic tackle by Bailey Fritsch. He was the one who was able to create the turnover and shot at goal.
Brayshaw, player of good skills, comes in but pushes it right, and Melbourne's last chance might have slipped away. They trail by 7 points beyond the 29-minute mark, 79-72.
All thanks to Tyre Power. Buy 3, get 1 free on selected Falcon tyres at Tyre Power. Yes, Lee?
This is the way game management comes in. There's a minute or so to go just to make sure you kick it wide.
So, long kick in, Ryan, to the wing. Everything's now got to go right to Melbourne. Fall of the ball, Switkowski's got it. They're running in waves, the Dockers. Handball across the face to Clark. Forced onto the left boot by Langdon. Melbourne want the ball to stay alive. They've got the outnumber out there. Taken there, a handball over the top. Viney has it, tackled, lost it, turned over. Switkowski, his handball missed. Petrarca tries to get things going. Over to Neil Bullen, around the body he goes. Max Corner chance. Did he complete the mark? Umpire said play on. Chance for Viney, little underground handball. Petrarca, did he get knocked in the back? Umpire said no, play on the call. 35 out, Melbourne into attack, trail by 7 late in the game. Are we going to get a stoppage here? Play on the call, and play just rolls on and on. And a famous victory is going to come up for Fremantle. Today is Walyalup, the Indigenous name for the town of Fremantle. Tossed up, Harms has it. Tackled by Andrew Brayshaw, going nowhere. The Dockers, what a victory this is. The renaissance continues on. Pickett was tackled high, play on the call. It's 20 out from Melbourne's goal. It's not going to matter. Walyalup 12-7-79, Narm 10-12-72. The second upset today. So it is. As trailing at half-time by only 2 points, low-scoring game, but a brilliant game of footy. Joy Amos with 3, Tracy 2, Banfield 2. Ripping game of football. The Dockers by 7 points. We are the Rio Dockers. There you go. There you go. And it honestly sounds like it is funereal in here, as in sort of some disbelief. The Demon fans will look at the scoreboard and confirm it is the Dockers by 7 points. We're going to be on air, the only station on air until 6 o'clock, bringing you all the atmosphere. And Lee and Jimmy, much will be said at the jubilant Dockers rooms.
Yeah, they were good. I mean, they started the year badly, and you thought, gee, they've dropped off from what they were this time last year, for most of last year, but certainly the last bit of the year, and they're right back to that level again. And they outplayed Melbourne today. I mean, Oliver was missing, we know that, but I think the whole look of that Fremantle team, amazing what a few weeks can do in the change from month to month.
Yeah, they can always defend, Freo, and I think under Longmuir they defend well, but I think the issue they had in the start of the year is they got trapped a little bit in their back 50, and we spoke to Longmuir before the game, and he said they were handballing too much, going backwards and sideways, and now they've got that transition footy going. They look a completely different side because they've got the young midfield tyros in Sarong and Brayshaw who are guns of the competition. You had some veterans around them with O'Meara and Fife, but they've got speed and guys who are willing to work extremely hard on their forward line. And Tracy and obviously Amos, two emerging, call it number 1 and number 2 forward as far as the roles go. Certainly stood up today, but you had it with Schultz, Witowski, Fredericks, those hard-working small forwards who get up the ground and help their midfield and backs, but they don't stay there, and now they've got that transition going. They look a lot more dangerous, but this was a hard-fought game where both sides, I think, at different stages had control of the game and didn't make the most of it because of the pressure, because it was a high-pressure game, but Freo had their nose in front at the end.
Lee, if you're ever going to play a great game against your old side as a star young player, and what a game Luke Jackson put in today.
Yeah, no, he was good. He carried the ruck, obviously, after the injury to Darcy, but wasn't so much in the hit-outs. I mean, he gets beaten in the hit-outs. Melbourne won the hit-outs 49-29, but the clearances and things, the only thing that really matters at the bottom of that, and they were won by Fremantle, and probably Jackson himself had half a dozen of them. So he was a very, very valuable fourth ground level midfielder for the Dockers. Not so much the aerial stuff.
So down to the city end of the ground as the Dockers players jubilant, the loyal band of supporters there very quietly. Melbourne leave the field. And what a game it was, Jim, with now as I go to check on ladders and things like that. No,
live ones?
No,
live ones?
No, I just said ladders at the moment.
Is it currently live?
Well, it's got the Dockers on 6 wins and 5 losses, find themselves on 24 points along with Geelong. We will get onto that game very, very shortly, but so much to love about this one. So, boys, some of the heroes, please, from the statistical point of view.
Well, Luke Jackson's game, we've been touching on him a fair bit. He's had 19 touches, kicked a goal. He's had 8 clearances, 6 or 7 hit-outs to advantage. Besley touched on, he helped that Freo midfield win the clearances. Andrew Brayshaw's had 29 and 7 clearances. 10 ground ball gets, 13 contested. Hayden Young had 27 touches. Caleb Sarong's had 26 and a goal. And O'Meara, who you highlighted really well, good buddy, especially in the third quarter, he's had 24, and a couple of the goal kickers. Banfield kicked 2. Banfield's one of those players they keep trying to drop for the last 2 years, and he keeps making his way into the side. Fredericks kicked a goal, and Tracy kicked 2, and Amos 3. For the D's, Christian Petrarca's finished with 31. Brayshaw, old man Brayshaw, Angus had 27, Salem 19, and their leading goal kickers, Fritsch and Pickett, had 2 each, as well as the Freo chant goes up as they leave the ground.
They'll open up the lines 133693 for Nick Theodosi Prestige cars and their near new luxury vehicles. But a win of some importance, indeed a result of some importance. Hawthorn earlier today by 10 points. It was Walyalup by 7 points over the Narm Demons as they're making their way down into the rooms. I'll head down to you, Jackie. Let's head down to the winning rooms to hear now, to the Fremantle Dockers today. We acknowledge them as Walyalup celebrate the win. Thanks to Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives. Jackie, down to you. A player should just about be getting in your gaze right now.
They certainly are. Nat Fife is leading the team with Alex Gears into the rooms. Plenty of family and friends have congregated down here. I can see Luke Jackson looks absolutely stoked. What a result after taking on his old team in one of the more physical games of footy I reckon I've witnessed this year. That was unbelievable. Many bodies flying and crunching in, a lot of corkies and a lot of deep heat required for this one. But we're just waiting on one last player to come in, Sean Darcy. Here we go, guys. Track down a player and whether or not they've got a team meeting first as well.
All right, you can do that. I know your favourite player, one of the best chats I know we had last year, Jackie, was Caleb Sarong, who once again was wonderful. But anyone of that magnificent team today from Walyalup, 7-point winners over Narm Demons, 12-7-79 to 10-12-72. And earlier this afternoon, as Luke Bruce kicks goal number 499, an excellent career, Tim, it was Hawthorn 12-16-88 defeating St Kilda 12-6-78. Game has already started down at Geelong. Libby Birch, you are covering this game for us, and we're probably, near enough 20 minutes into the first quarter.
We absolutely are, good buddy. We've got 7 minutes to go in that first quarter, and GWS by 3 points, 2-0-12 to Geelong 1-3-9. Hawkins has kicked a goal for Geelong, and Riccardi and Green 1 apiece for the Giants, but it is Toby Green's 200th match.
Good stuff. And no doubt right throughout the night, as it is going to be the Eagles and the Bombers. Shane McGuinness and the team taking over at 6 o'clock.
Hey, good buddy.
Yeah.
Just in that Hawthorn-St Kilda game, Hawthorn kicked the last 5 to win that. I know we get carried away with some stats, but can I just highlight one person's game from that?
Please.
James Sisley has finished with 42 disposals, 16 marks, 17 contested, 21 intercept possessions and 11 score involvements. In the last quarter alone, he had 15 touches and 8 intercepts. That's a monster game.
That is a massive game. And, of course, he's one of those freaks of nature too, Jim. He can play both big
and small.
Yeah, I don't know how they do it. Lee, got to have a lot of love today, Lee, for both teams putting on such an excellent performance.
Yeah, no, it was. It was just one of those games where mostly the back 50s, you look at the sort of the basic numbers, the inside 50 marks were only 8 to Melbourne, 9 to the Dockers. That indicates the aerial stakes up in that part of the ground, the defences were on top. That's why it was relatively low scoring for most of the game. Broke open a little bit in the last quarter when there was 7 goals were scored. But for all that, it was the rundown tackles. I think it was one of the best low-scoring games I've seen, because it was a really good contest even up to half-time when there'd only been 8 goals scored. But it was a good entertaining, not just a scrubby sort of game. So I thought both sides were pretty good today, but certainly Fremantle certainly deserved the win. I think their midfield group, Petrarca was good, Brayshaw was good, but clearly they're going to miss Oliver, Melbourne. But I thought that the midfield bunch, which is 6, 7, 8 players for Fremantle, they were just a little bit better, a little bit quicker, ran the ball into space a little bit better.
Jim, was there one thing in the finish? I know one team stat I'm trying to look for that says that's why the Dockers got over the line. Or was it basically all...
Well, we probably thought with Big Sean Darcy going on that Melbourne would get the edge. And I know we're highlighting Luke Jackson a bit, but they were able to kick 7 goals from stoppages, which you probably wouldn't have thought would be the case with Luke Jackson pretty much having to ruck one out for 90% of this game. So the fact that they were able to not only take over, actually more than break even, but take over and actually still score from stoppage was a huge effort for the Dockers.
What about the free kicks, Jimmy? Because it would have been about 53-3, I think, judging by the reaction down below us.
It was 15-13 in Melbourne's favour. So
that computer can't be working right.
If they want to take up grievances, Chris Donlan is your man. He gave 4 to Freo and 3 to Melbourne. Everyone else was on your side. So they were about to throw their camembert and their champagne out there.
The Melbourne crowd would have umpired it much better, wouldn't they, Tim? If they'd actually got the chance, they would have umpired much better.
Anyone have any luck with their bold prediction?
I'll put my hand up and say that Narm would absolutely win, would give...
No, you said a blowout, didn't you?
A blowout, that's it.
We can cross that one out clearly, yes.
Tom McDonald gave me 25% of my prediction.
Keep going.
I want him to kick 4, he kicked 1. So I'm out. Lee,
I think you get the
pretty confident that I got home on my Luke Jackson being the best of the 4 ruckmen, although Grundy was pretty good.
We can find
one bad.
And that was all we had, wasn't it?
Exactly. That means today, Lee, you get from Foodworks the giant pack.
Hang on, what did Tim have again?
Without Oliver, I thought Freo might be able to shut Melbourne down in the midfield and win the game.
You did say that.
Thanks very much. Giant packet of killer pythons to you, Lee. As we head down from Foodworks, let's go down to Jackie Reid, having a chat with one of the stars who just never, ever plays a bad game.
Well, thanks very much for your time. Caleb Sarong joins us right now. You just come out of the team meeting. What was the main message there?
JR was really proud of us. It wasn't a game like we've played the last couple of weeks. We've probably had the game on our terms for big parts of the last couple of games, and we've been able to see that free-flowing game. But tonight it was just a scrap. Both teams were up for a contest, and it was just a fight. And we came out on top in the end, and he was just really proud of us. And I don't know if you heard a big cheer, but that was because we got around Luke Jackson, so he was pretty pumped.
Yeah, we're going to have to speak about Luke. That was a magnificent game by him against the Old Mob.
Yeah, we spoke a few times during the week just about how calm and relaxed he is, and it probably wouldn't faze him too much coming up against the old team. But he just enjoyed tonight. I think he had a smile on his face from the time he flew into Melbourne on Thursday night, and then he was just really excited to get out there and perform. And he's a man for the big stage, big fella. He's done it before, so it was great to see him do it again.
Caleb, Jimmy Bartel here. Well done on the win, and well done on your game. Just a bit more on Luke Jackson and also Sean Darcy going down so early in the game. How does it change your setups when each of them swap over? So what do you do different when Jacko comes in and starts rucking compared to Big Sean?
I don't want to give too many of our secrets away, but they're obviously completely different ruckmen when you look at them. So Sean's extremely dominant when he's able to wrestle his opponent, and he's able to hit it anywhere, really. He's able to protect the drop of the ball and hit it outside. He's able to hit behind him, all that kind of stuff. But Luke's at his best when he's hitting and following up. So we're trying to get him involved as much as we can at ground level as well. And I guess at centre bounce especially, Sean likes to protect the drop of the ball, but Luke likes to run and jump and try and get it going forward. So we're trying to let them play to their strengths as much as we can, and we feel like it's working well for us at the moment.
Caleb, that's forward and strike. So your last month, including today's, been terrific. Not so good early in the year. What do you see as what has sort of turned around where you were earlier, where you are now?
It's tough, I guess, to single one thing out, but I feel like a couple of things is the contest. If you look at the raw numbers, we weren't getting it done in the first month and bit of the year. We were getting smashed in that area. That came down to the midfield. It came down to everyone. But we looked at ourselves as a midfield group, and we didn't feel like we were playing tough enough brand of footy. So we've got to work. We feel like we're starting to get our clearance game going, which is helping the rest of the team and helping our field position, because we can start our ball moving up from, I guess, the wing or the centre of the ground rather than relying on our backs to get it going. And I feel like there's a sense of dare and freedom being had at the moment. I think you would have saw tonight some of the fast forwards just getting on their bike and running and using their strengths, and that's something we've been really preaching and trying to get guys just to take the game on and have a bit of fun, which is I feel like it's holding us in really good stead.
And as he gets fit, I mean, Nate Pipe is a big midfielder. It just helps with the balance of size and bulk compared to, you guys, you and Ainsworth Brayshaw, a little bit smaller, obviously, but the balance to get a bit more power.
Yeah, without a doubt. I think something with him as well, it's when you want to lock a stoppage down or just get back to the basics, you can just put him in the spot and hit it to him, and you know he's either going to take it or it's going to get to ground and be predictable. So that's something that helps with the predictability around stoppage. But I feel like guys like Jager and Jono as well, they're big bodies, so they've been getting to work over the last month and really providing a good contest for us.
Very disciplined, Caleb. Jai Amos in that last quarter when you came forward and he had possession, 55 or 60 metres out, and so many players would have been tempted in the heat of that moment just to bomb away in a futile manner, and he just bought time and finished up kicking it in long for Schultz to take the mark and goal.
Yeah, I think Jai is just someone that amazes me every day. He's for a young player that's only played a dozen or so games, he's so calm, composed, relaxed, and just always seems to make the right decision. And I feel like something that obviously he's been getting on the end of a few goals, another 3 or so tonight, I think, but his ability to compete in the air against some of the best key backs in the comp, he's getting one of the best, if not their best key back, and they're big boys, and he's played a dozen games, and his ability just to get it to ground and allow smalls to get to work, and then he's finishing off his work as well. So he's someone that's just going to get better and better as more he plays.
Wonderful to talk to you. Caleb, just for the record, you're a boy from Warragul. Do you know the Railway Hotel in the main drag?
I do know the Railway.
Can you confirm that the barber shop is actually attached to part of the pub?
I've never been to the barber shop there.
Yeah.
When I was younger in Warragul, I probably cut my own hair, so that's I didn't go to the local barber too much.
It's a very good barber shop to go to. You don't mind waiting 7 or 8 hours to get it done.
Right, well, that's not me then. I won't be going there.
Thank you very much. Good on you, Caleb.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
That was a fabulous game of football. We got an official attendance.
29,154, Tone.
Yeah, what a beauty it was. With the quarter by quarters, Melbourne leading by 8 at quarter time, by 2 at half time. That third quarter really got 15 points was the lead to the Dockers, and they come out winners 12-7-79 to 10-12-72. And now at this stage of the afternoon, on the ladder, they are in 8th position, 6 wins, but it all really starts to tighten up except for Melbourne, not for Melbourne, for Collingwood and Brisbane, who might be able to just put a little bit of a gap on the chasing pack. Good stoush underway down the highway at Geelong. Libby Birch.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, good buddy. It's a point the difference heading into quarter time. There's 30 seconds left, and Cameron has kicked a goal to put him in a good position to continue the form. He's had a bit of a form slump the last 2 weeks, but good to have him back on the scoreboard. It's interesting because the Giants have had this entire quarter leading contested possessions and clearances, but Geelong are making this a close one.
Excellent work there. So it is a 1 point lead to the Cats. The Dockers by 7 points early today. And Hawthorn. Jim, that was the last 5 goals you said?
Yes, last 5
goals.
Last
5 goals get over St Kilda to win by 10 points.
Jimmy, were you surprised that Tone picked up the theme of the pubs of Warragul rather than talking about the educational institution that Caleb attended?
Not too many students of the grammar come from Warragul.
No, I'll tell you what, how did they find him?
With the scholarship program.
Thank you very much. That is it. The Nick Theodosi Prestige Cars open line. Celebrating 52 years is open now. Demon fans, Docker fans, 133 693. Lee Matthews, Jimmy Bartell to take your call. But it was a wonderful game of football with the Dockers winning by 7 points and across Australia. And your calls coming up next, 133 693, 133 693. As we'll also do a bit of a dissection of Melbourne. We've spoken plenty about the Dockers, and deservedly so. But just get the boys' thoughts on the Demons as we're near enough at the halfway mark of the season. So winners so far today were Hawthorn and Walyalup, or the Dockers. And it's a tight one down at Geelong. Across Australia, thanks to Mac, as you're listening to 3AW.